Do you know why the NFL football says the Duke on it? Anyone?
I feel like I know this, but
does anyone know ball?
I know
Ferdinand.
I know it has nothing to do with a juke move.
Correct.
Billy got it right. That's exactly why.
It also
Roger
has
Goodell was
nothing
like,
to
not
do.
juke.
It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons, nukes.
That's true.
Does it have anything to do with your alma mater?
It looks like a giant shit.
Does it have anything to do with
The
puke?
Dookie.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with puke.
Nope, nothing to do with
I
puke.
knew that as well.
Nothing to do with fluke?
Like if you took a shit the size of football, you'd be like, that's the Duke.
Yeah. On today's part of my take, we have Brian Baldinger, Baldy. I don't know how it took us this long in this podcast history to have Baldy on the show, but we finally righted that wrong. Great interview with him talking about his career and also the NFL Week 15, what he sees coming up, who's jumping off the film. We also have Week 15 picks and preview. It's getting close in the race for bowling and hot dogs. Fyre Fest of the week. And a great Friday show sending you into the weekend, and it's brought to you by our friends at Chevy. Playoff pictures are starting to emerge, but one team has already won it all. That team is Chevy, and its star player, the Silverado, a truck with unstoppable grit and determination. According to J.D. Power, Chevy trucks have earned more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand. That's some serious hardware. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more. Silverado is strong and dependable as the people who drive them. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. The Chevy Silverado is the best truck ever created. That's a fact. Check it out now. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more. Silverado is strong and dependable as the people who drive them. So thank you to our friends at Chevy, and go check out the new Chevy Silverado. It's a star player, ready for you to drive. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Chevy. Go check out the new Silverado right now, Chevy.com. Today is Friday, December 16th, and the San Francisco 49ers are really fucking good.
Purdy Brockers in the house tonight. We gonna celebrate and have a good time. Brock Purdy looked awesome tonight, and it's impossible to tell because I've been falling in love with Brock Purdy the last 2 weeks.
How can you not?
But it's impossible to tell how much is Brock Purdy being really good and how much is just Kyle Shanahan's system being maybe the most quarterback-friendly system of all time.
We were saying when we were watching the game, I don't think there's a better situation that a Mr. Irrelevant, low-drafted quarterback could ever walk into than not only Kyle Shanahan, but this specific 49ers team that just has so much talent everywhere. Like, their defense is great. Their running game is great.
He's not really getting hit that much.
Not getting hit. George Kittle. Oh, yeah, remember him? 2 touchdowns. He's a fucking monster. Like, everything seems to be clicking for them. They don't even have Debo right now, who will be back for the playoffs. Like, They're just a really good team. They just clinched the NFC West. They're in the playoffs. They're like, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Cowboys and Eagles and Vikings, but they could get all the way up to probably the 2 seed.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Seahawks fan, you're watching this, you're probably upset because you got your doors kicked in tonight, but also be happy because you can always just remember whenever you're feeling blue, you don't have Russell Wilson.
You don't have Russell Wilson.
You won that trade.
And this is, I know that I very much know that the Seahawks do have the tiebreaker over the Lions because I fucked that up the other day and I was corrected very many times, which I need to know ball better. But the Seahawks have a tough road ahead because 7-7 now. They're now 2 games back in the loss column to the Commanders and the Giants. It feels like, they've lost 4 out of 5, and the one win was that Geno comeback win against the Rams to score late. It feels like the air's coming out of the balloon a little bit. They're one of those teams that we had them circled where it's like, yeah, is this real? I don't know. Like, I want it to be real. I want them to go to the playoffs, but it feels like they're just running out of gas in terms of talent. Their defense getting gashed on last week, the Panthers had 240 yards. Tonight, the Niners ran for 5 yards a carry. It feels like it's getting to the end here where like the fact they don't have a ton of top end talent is hurting them.
Gino is slowly writing back to us.
Yeah.
He's addressed the envelope. It hasn't been put in the mail officially yet. He's got some talent. DK looked good at times tonight. He looks like every time he catches the ball, he looks like he's about to square up with the cornerback.
Yeah.
After he gets tackled, he looks like he's ready to fight. I like the chippiness out of him. Walker didn't play that well. The offensive line had some real issues.
Yeah, and their defensive line get injuries.
And so with those jerseys, people are like, those are candy ass. Now, I like those jerseys on the Seahawks.
I hope you're saying what I'm going to thinking.
But you cannot stop the run if you're wearing those jerseys.
Well, and you also have to go full lime green.
Yeah, okay,
you have to commit to it.
Yes, you gotta
I don't like commit to one color. It's Thursday Night Football, baby.
And even if you do commit to it, I still think that you're going to get gashed on the ground if you're wearing those jerseys. You might, if you go full lime green, you're going to be able to pin your ears back and get a few sacks on the board.
Yes.
Maybe ball hawk a few interceptions. But it seems like that those are jerseys that will just get run on.
And the Seahawks, unfortunately, their next game is at Kansas City.
It's tough. I mean, this is a big game. It's a big game for my Lions.
Yeah.
It's good for them that
they don't have the tiebreaker though.
They don't have the tiebreaker, but that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine in this case. Here's a couple Brock Purdy stats. You ready? Brock Purdy is the second quarterback in NFL history with a 115-plus passer rating in each of his first 2 career starts. You know who the other is?
First 2 career starts?
Yeah.
115 passer rating? Oof.
No, Hank?
Taylor Heineke.
No.
Patrick Mahomes.
No. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
We got a little Aaron Rodgers on our hands
wow.
right now.
Mini
Scurrying
Aaron
around
Rodgers.
out there, yeah. People are saying his ceiling is actually higher than Aaron Rodgers.
And he was playing with an oblique.
As long as he stays away from the drugs. So this is another fun stat. This is more of just a press release from Adam Schefter. What makes Brock Purdy's performance that much more impressive is that he was far from 100% with his rib and oblique injuries. One team official wondered if Purdy would make it through tonight's game. That's a little dramatic. Does he mean like alive?
That's interesting because I would imagine that Schefter doesn't have Brock Purdy's agent's number.
No, but he definitely
probably
But see, this Schefter's
not a high-powered agent.
He's got to feed both sides of the fence.
Yeah,
he's
true.
got to feed the agents, and he's also got to feed the John Lynches of the world.
Yes,
to give him those scoops on that other side. Another source in the front office texted, "He's in pain."
Ooh,
pain, just pain everywhere. Pain everywhere.
Should the Niners build around Brock Purdy?
I think that they are building around Brock Purdy, and they should.
Listen, We've talked about this. We know that the correction will come, but let us just enjoy the Brock Purdy experience for as long as we can, because right now he's playing well. And this was a game oblique injury on the first road game, first road start in Seattle.
True road start
in Seattle. Everyone's like, oh no, this is not going to be. No. Brock Purdy, baby. He started the game 10 for 10.
Was the moment too big for Brock? Absolutely not.
Oh,
Brock's too big for the moment.
Okay, so if you're thinking about building around Brock Purdy, his salary for the next 3 years, $870,000, $985,000, $1.1 million.
Cap goes up 30 years.
Hey, you can build around Brock Purdy.
I think you can. To me, Brock Purdy, you can't watch what he's done these last 2 games and say that he can't take this team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What a story that would be, huh?
I mean,
if Brock Purdy got the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
It's a lot about the fact that the Niners are just so fucking good.
Of course.
But, why not?
That defense is legit. Really, the only thing that the 49ers have to worry about is the refs fucking them over.
Yes.
Their defense being so good that the refs feel bad for the quarterbacks and start calling ticky-tack fouls on them.
Yes. So, Seahawks dead.
Did you see what happened the second time Joey Bosa sacked him?
Yeah, that was.
And he the second time he hit him after he got that penalty, he hits him, and then in midair he actually did the thing that we always say is physically impossible. He took his weight off of Geno Smith in the air on their way down and landed on his hands right in front of the ref to show him hey, I'm not actually hitting this guy.
Yes. The roughing the passer. I mean, we gotta. I think there actually was. I think Florio wrote an article about how the league is gonna review it, start figuring out how they can fix this, because they had one. The Dolphins-Chargers game had one that the league then came back and said that actually wasn't roughing the passer. We fucked up. So I'm never in favor of adding more reviews to the game, but it does feel like maybe we should for this.
Especially a subjective review. It's gonna make things worse.
Yeah.
My 4-year-old son Chris walked in. He said, "Daddy, why don't we just put dresses on these quarterbacks? We're gonna call him like that. He's a problematic little creep.
He said you can't even tackle anymore.
Yeah, not
In
my
this
football
fucking league.
not my NFL.
You can't tackle anymore. What are you gonna say, Jake?
Let's see how quickly people tweet at you for calling him Joey Bosa.
Nick Bosa.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't know ball.
Don't know
We've
ball.
really put ourselves in
Yeah.
a bad spot. What started as a joke to Max now means that like we have to. This show was built on being incorrect all the time, and now we have to like. I'm not joking. Like when I said the Lions beat the Seahawks, I had like 100 tweets being like, "You don't know ball, bro." So we have boxed ourselves into a bad place.
I was getting snitch tagged.
PFT.
And those people were like, Big Cat, why do you keep saying that the Lions beat the Seahawks? You don't get it. And then at the end, they just tagged
also
in my
score
defense,
Gombe
wasn't
game, so
wasn't
how
it like
could
a
you forget?
48-45?
It was
Like
48-45.
when the scores get up to 40, you don't know who won or lost.
Also, a big part of knowing ball is accountability, right? PFT was accountable when we were doing the 2-point math during the last touchdown of this game, down 15.
Yeah.
Should they go for 2?
Yeah.
And I said no because you want to extend the game.
Right, you were right.
Yeah.
But your accountability of knowing you were wrong is knowing ball in a sense.
Oh, you were wrong.
This-
Jake's just a
no,
backwards
yeah, this
way
is
of
awesome.
saying
That was
Jake.
the
Jake's just-
most Jake Marsh anecdote I think I've
I
ever
missed
heard
it.
in my
Accountability
life.
is you said.
Yeah, so in the last 2 minutes, Jake has been like, just so you know, other people are going to really roast you and point out that you called him the wrong Bosa PFT.
Wait,
not me. I wouldn't do
What's
that.
this?
But also,
what's
remember
this
when you didn't
2-point
know ball
conversion?
during the game?
Yeah, I want to
And
hear
I
what
did.
happened.
That
What did
was
PFT
that was
say?
double alpha by Jake.
He admitted to not knowing ball, but
I did. I put my hand up and I said,
accountability is knowing ball.
Wait,
I said,
he
I'm-
said
I
they were
embarrassed.
going to go for 2?
I embarrassed our podcast because they went.
How
they went.
could you?
So the 49ers were winning 21-13. It was right after the Seahawks scored. And I said, why didn't they go for 2 there? I just said it out loud to myself. And then I looked at the score and I was like, oh shit, yeah, they weren't down by 14 points there.
Damn.
I looked at it hypothetically from the point of view of a team that had just gone for 2 and not gotten it, and now they're down by 8 points.
The real winner in all of this is Max. Because he had to take the initial shit, but now he has to watch us like
Now we all don't know
try
ball
to
at
be
some point.
so.
Yeah.
You know what? But let's just say we don't know ball. Go back to being incorrect all the time.
Billy's over there. Can we get the camera on Billy real quick?
He's uncomfortable.
While we were having that conversation, Billy was literally taking a knife and cutting the crotch of his pants
He
open.
needs air. He said that it's very tight.
If you're watching this
I'm
on
getting
YouTube, you're going to know ball soon.
I'm getting, yeah.
Free the ball.
In this amazing, pardon my cheesesteak racing wear.
Why are you just taking a pocket knife to your penis?
It's to open up the seat.
Oh, okay.
It's normal.
Need some air there.
Again,
It's Billy's personal bris.
Yeah.
Billy's the strangest person in the world.
You really are, but that's why we love
Hey,
you.
You know,
Yeah.
Gotta
All right.
jump somehow.
Last thing before we get to ourselves, Week 15 pick and preview. World Cup final. Should we even make a prediction? I want Messi to win so bad so that idiots who don't know ball, speaking of not knowing ball, like Hank, have to fucking eat it.
I'm predicting Argentina, but it's a double win for Qatar because they own Paris Saint-Germain, which is the team that both Mbappe and Messi play for. FIFA rigged, Amir rigged. We
Mbappe
should have
and
seen this
Messi play on
coming.
the same team?
Yeah.
Yeah,
PSG.
and they've won a ton of UEFA
That's
Champions
crazy.
Leagues
Yeah.
because they're so good.
Uh-huh.
No, they don't because they play in a farmers league.
Yeah.
I don't
They
know what
just
that
dominated
means. I've just
every
heard-
year.
I've heard
It's just
somebody say
PSG is the only team. Well, there's what? What's the other team in
that.
France?
Racing. There's a racing team.
Yeah,
They call
Nice.
themselves racing, but they're a soccer team. I don't get it.
Either way,
It's going to be Mbappe.
Oh.
It's his game.
It's his game. They're doing it for Maradona. This is Maradona dead mascot tournament for Argentina. God rest his soul.
oh man, I really want him to win it. But
Zlatan still play for PSG?
No.
Is Zlatan?
no,
Yeah.
Zlatan does not. He came over to America, played for the Galaxy. I think he went back to
I don't know.
his home country.
I don't know what he's up
which
to these
is
days. Sweden.
Sweden. I think he plays in a Swedish league now.
Dominates. Zlatland is God, though.
Man,
He's the one guy that.
once you get over those mountains, you're gonna hit some Zlatland. And it's gonna be a nice, easy drive.
I respect that Billy asked about him because
That's the only PSG player I ever knew.
he's a fun guy to watch because he's just like he actually does think that he's Jesus.
Yeah. No, PSG had Neymar as well for a while.
Whoa.
It was sick.
Stacked.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
they
because
were
it's
sick.
it's owned by the government of Qatar.
Yeah.
So they can just pay everybody infinity dollars.
All I'm going to say is if it goes poorly for Messi on Sunday, I think we can just pivot to Messi's the GOAT because he took two garbage Argentina teams to the World Cup final.
He becomes LeBron
Yeah, he
on the
brought
Cavs
them there.
before
Yeah.
he got his title in Miami.
Yeah, but if he wins it,
Yeah.
it's over for losers like you, Hank.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, I took a shot.
You took a shot literally like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but it was like Ronaldo or Messi. Let's hop in this debate.
You chose poorly.
Very, very.
That's like
poorly.
that's like when I hopped in the when I became a Djokovic guy right before Wimbledon and he won. It was like the greatest thing I've never had a more instant reward.
The problem is, as a Maradona guy, if his spirit is channeled by Messi to win this World Cup, then I actually do think the only thing that Maradona has over Messi in this GOAT debate is he's got World Cup titles.
Yeah.
And Messi doesn't. But if Messi wins, even on the shoulders of Maradona, then it's like, okay, well, I have to lay down my sword.
Yes.
And pivot to Messi.
Who's the Kobe of the soccer GOAT debate? So like LeBron, MJ, and then we have like Ronaldo, Messi. Who's like the third?
Probably Ronaldo.
Pele.
Probably the other Ronaldo.
Or Ronaldinho.
Or Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I would
Mbappe
say,
is going to be, if he like plays like he's been playing, because remember, he was only 19 when he won the World Cup last time.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be an incredible like all-time guy. He's fucking sick. He's so fast. And his name's awesome. Killian.
Yeah, his name is pretty sick. And he is the guy that, like, when you see him on the pitch playing footy, he's so much faster than everybody else.
So much faster.
And it's, like, shocking because these are other world-class fast guys.
Yes.
Although that run that Messi had was pretty sick.
It was.
All time.
Yeah.
Class. Pure class.
Okay. Argentina 2, France 1.
Dos a Cero. I'm going Dos a Cero, 2-0.
4-4 penalty kicks.
Oh, 4-4.
France 1-0.
Alternate over
It's
7.5.
interesting how in soccer they don't award the score to the winning team in penalty kicks.
What do you mean?
Like it's a final score of 1-1, but
Oh, yeah.
4-3
Then
in
it
PKs.
doesn't become 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean for, like, the overs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Well, soccer with the extra time and not getting that for the over 2 sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot.
Wait, just to clarify, Hank, your prediction is 4-4,
Yep.
and then it goes to penalty kicks,
1-0.
and then France wins 1-0 in penalty kicks.
Were there any?
Got it.
Were there any
Did I start?
extra
No, that's
time
good.
scores, or was it 4-4 in the 90 minutes?
I think we'll go one each in extra time.
Okay, so
Make it exciting.
3-3, 1-1, 1-0.
Yeah.
I'm going 0-0 France in PKs.
Oh, that sucks, Bart.
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
that's
it's a
usually what
terrible
happens.
Game.
That's usually
You know what?
World Cup
Terrible
soccer.
game.
Usually the third place game is a sick game.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for that.
The last
When is it?
That's on Saturday.
What time?
10.
10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
All right, nice,
All right. Then
nice.
I was gonna say if it's at 2 o'clock, I'm not gonna watch.
No, I'm pretty. Yeah.
It's gonna be Vikings Colts.
Usually that's a game where they're just like, fuck it. Third place doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about
We should do
tactics.
third place games in the NFL.
Oh,
That
100%.
would be
Didn't they
awesome.
used to do that instead of the Pro Bowl?
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should.
I don't know
absolutely
if
play
they
a third
used to
place
do
game.
that.
I think they did on the
I don't want to answer
Sunday.
one way or the other because I don't
Oh,
want to be accused of not
you know
knowing
what?
ball.
I
I'm
know.
gonna go with absolutely not. I'm gonna go with that. Sounds like the most incorrect statement you've ever made.
No. I'm.
Billy knows ball.
Oh
Yeah!
They
no!
did it. They would do it the
Fuck.
weekend before the Super Bowl.
Dude, you just dunked
Well,
on Hank. I stayed
don't
out
know
of
ball,
that.
I don't
yeah.
know if this is a guess because it happened between 1960 and 1969.
No,
Billy
Billy knows
knows.
ball.
Yeah, he
no,
knows.
Billy knows ball. He
But
remembers
he knows
those years.
ball.
Hank, that's a bad
Originally
look for
known
you,
as
bro.
the runner-up bowl.
That's a bad look for
Yeah,
you.
no, that's.
Billy knows more.
You want to
ball.
take accountability, Hank? I took accountability.
I did not know ball in that moment.
I think
no, Billy's about to.
Unitas.
Yeah,
like,
don't. No,
played
no,
it.
He's
you
about
won.
to
You
ruin
won.
it.
You
Yeah.
won. You
Stop,
won.
stop.
You won, Billy. Stop.
Billy, stop talking. I'm begging you. I'm
Stop.
begging you.
Dude,
Billy,
you won.
If you keep talking, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
You're up 2
Stop.
scores and you're not kneeling. You're just
Stop,
still
Billy.
throwing the ball. Stop.
Can we hurry up because this thing's killing
All right.
me.
Okay. Let's kick it to ourselves
Take it off. Yeah.
for Week 15 picks and preview. Before we get to picks and previews, a quick word from our friends at NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Did you know that driving high is considered driving under the influence? That's right. Driving under the influence of marijuana is against the law in every state, even in states where marijuana is legal. That means driving high could get you a DUI, and if you think law enforcement officers can't tell when you're driving high, you are wrong. Your friends can tell, your coworkers can tell, even your parents can tell. Everyone can tell. So what makes you think that law enforcement officers don't know when you're driving high? Driving under the influence of marijuana can slow your response time and change how you perceive time and speed. So even if you think you're fine to drive when you're high, you're not. Because the bottom line is, if you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is driving under the influence. It's also the holiday season. A lot of people out there drinking, enjoying the holiday season. please make sure you take an Uber. Never get behind the wheel of a car when you've had a few drinks, or get in a car with someone who's had a few drinks. It can ruin your life. It can ruin someone else's life. It is so easy to call an Uber, so please do that. And make sure you're safe this holiday season. And remember, drive high, get a DUI. Paid for NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And be safe out there this holiday season. Okay, week 15. Picks and preview. Boys.
I'm going to call this moving day.
It
in
is.
the NFL. This is moving day this weekend. We got 2 moving days, Saturday and Sunday.
It feels like there are a few very specific games. Like the Dolphins, if they lose, they're in trouble. The Jets-Lions feels like a loser leaves town game in terms of the playoff picture. The Jaguars season could be like, holy shit, the Jaguars might make a run for the playoffs.
This is going to be, I think, the biggest giant thermometer weekend that we've had so far.
I like that.
There's a lot of weather games, even the weather games that are like kind of borderline. Like in Cleveland, we're going to have like a thermometer being like, can Deshaun Watson win in the cold?
Yep.
Big time.
Wind.
Yeah, big win. The giant thermometer game of the week is going to be in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, Saturday night, and
Tua.
I love Saturday football.
Although
it's so great.
Tua did say it snows in Alabama too, which is technically true. We'll have to get our weather guy on that to verify.
It does,
but I'm pretty sure it barely snows in Alabama.
Yeah, I think it snows. It kind of snows everywhere. Like there's a lot of places that it has snowed before.
Yeah, Alabama is one of those states where the people that live there will be like, you know what's great about Alabama? You actually get a little bit of every season.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah. Has it snowed in L.A.? Has it ever snowed? It has to have.
I think it's probably snowed once or twice.
Didn't it do it like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I feel like it has. Has there ever been snow in Los Angeles?
Yeah, when Robert Downey Jr. is in town.
Since 2000, it's snowed 3 times in Los Angeles. 3 times.
And people freak out. I bet you it probably hasn't snowed since Twitter has become a real thing.
Yeah.
Because if you think that like earthquake Twitter in LA is obnoxious, if they get a dusting of snow,
oh my God,
just panic.
They'd be like, look
Pandemonium.
at us. We have to deal
Growing
with
up
this
in Florida, people would wear jackets and gloves when it was in the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, heaters on the sideline. We'll get to
when it snowed like an inch in Atlanta a couple years ago, and the highway shut down. And Chipper Jones was like rescuing people on ATV.
Yeah, we were there for that. It didn't even. It was like it was basically like a slushy ice rain.
It was grapple.
And they closed the schools the day before. They didn't even get like the watching the school, the TV and seeing if your school is closed. No, they were like, all schools closed.
So when I was living in Texas, one time
that's also a boomer thing because there's no way they do that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, that
sad.
Like watch.
No,
TV?
I know. Like I was like that too. It's one of the best feelings of excitement you could have. But
how do kids find out about snow days now? They get like automatic texts.
It's probably like an Amber Alert to their phone.
That sucks. It was so cool watching.
Although that would be
watching
electric.
TV and like waiting for the like 5 minutes to see if your school district was up there.
If it actually was an Amber
and
Alert,
then waiting again.
If your phone, if your phone actually buzzed, and it was like. You woke up on your phone, that would actually be electric.
It'd be kind of fun. There would be times when you would watch it on the news, and it would say your school district is shut down tomorrow, and then you'd watch it repeat and get re-excited again because it felt so cool seeing that.
Or the worst was like when it was like 2-hour delay.
It's like maybe they'll change it.
Yeah, I actually now that I'm thinking about it, I bet you it's just the parents look online and then tell their kids.
That sucks. Yeah, Billy?
For me, it was on TV in middle school, then they switched it come high school.
TV is so
internet.
much better.
Yeah,
it's
TV
so much better.
Yeah.
I was going to say one time when I was in Texas, they canceled schools across the entire, I think it was Travis County, because it was going to be 32 degrees.
Yeah, that's cold.
There was no snow, no precipitation. It was just going to be 32 degrees, and they were like, we can't.
Yeah.
You can't expect us
people
to,
can't live
to
like
go outside
this.
in this.
Yeah. But yeah, this is going to be a fun week 15, and the Saturday games are the best because the standalone games when you can really just immerse yourself in a football game. We have 6 of those this week. Yes, 6.
6 standalone
So we have
games.
Thursday, 3 on Saturday, Sunday night, Monday night. Like there, you just watch all the football and you just get to really be in the game, get the sound up. There's
Good
just
tease
nothing
for
better.
Super Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
January.
Super Wild Card Weekend, which I'm excited for. All right, so Jake, what are our standings at? Reminder: the second place and the last place have to do the bowling challenge, so it's coming down to it.
Yeah, it is. I am awful. I'm 1-11. I got to win.
Get the Tommy John now, buddy.
Saw one go through the hoop, as you would say. But I'm 1-11, so I'm a dead last. 1 behind Hank. And then there's a little bit of a gap. Billy and Max are in an awesome spot right now because they're both Billy's at 25 wins, Max at 27, and then Big Cat and PFT are also within a game up top. So right now it's like a two-way race between both.
Okay.
Obviously things can change with 16 picks left, but Billy and Max are sitting pretty. But right now it's me versus
So
Hank
many
and
picks.
you versus
so many
PFT.
picks. I'm not going to get worried till the last week.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's hop
PFT
into it.
we're red hot.
Yeah, he's
I
red hot.
am red hot.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
been red hot.
I've been red hot my entire life. I'm glad people are recognizing it finally. Am I top dog right now?
Yeah, by
Yes,
one game.
You're half a game
Half
up
a
on
game.
Big
Okay.
Cat.
What's the record?
30 and 27.
That's respectable.
And I'm in last at
500.
21 and 36.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
great.
tough.
Hank 22 and 35, 25 and 32 Billy, Max 27, 29 and 1, you're 29, 27 and 1.
Okay.
I you know what I might do this.
Oh, so Max and I are only 2 apart. So if I fall and Max goes up,
Yeah.
he's in second.
Okay,
It's
so
not really a
just
two-man.
Bill-
It's
no,
wide
No,
open.
it's wide
open, but
it's wide open.
Billy's
I still might win.
Billy's within 4 games.
I think Hank's mathematically eliminated from.
And
winning.
I think next week we will start the submitting of picks beforehand.
Okay.
So that way there cannot be any like
Yeah.
So Billy, you're gonna have to say the Jets before we even sit down.
Hank would need to go perfect every week, and I would need to go imperfect every
what?
week. Hank's done.
Do
Hank's
we have,
you
do we
know
have a
what?
hungry dog this week that you're liking?
His heart's not. in
I'm
it.
going.
Yeah.
It's it. Shut the fuck up.
No, it's
You
not.
shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck
No,
up.
fuck
my
you.
heart is always. If there's one thing my heart is in, it is deep, deep, deep inside the hungry dog. And this week it's gonna hit.
Also,
Dog
Hank's
has died
tweeting out
like
the
No,
gif
seven
of,
times in a row,
no,
yeah.
no, Yeller, no.
Hank tweeting out the gif of Hideki Matsui when the Texans were not a win.
This should be
Suey season.
the Mike Vick hungry dog of the week. That's what this should be because
Yeah,
they're.
it's bad.
It's really bad.
You need to. Yeah,
It's-
you need to. Your dogs need to
Can
be
you-
foster homed.
Can you start like? Take my advice.
How
Hank.
about you guys-
start teasing favorites into
No,
being
just
underdogs.
do 2.
I'm gonna do 2.
2.
Last week there was a clerical
Material
change.
change.
Yeah, material
Also,
change.
are we doing something similar to Thanksgiving, or is everything on the board?
No,
Like,
every
a bonus pick?
Saturday and Sundays are both. Yeah, they both count because the game's coming out on Friday, or the show's coming out Friday. You're gonna do Hungry Dog on Saturday too.
Yeah, when you say 2, like what if I did one on Saturday, one on Sunday?
Games,
But that means that you would
Hungry
just
dogs.
have every underdog win on
that
Saturday.
means, and that also means
No.
you're gonna just lose. No, he's saying pick a game on Saturday,
2
parlay it
games.
with Sunday.
No, I'm saying do Hungry Dog parlay Saturday.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're gonna go 0 for 2 this
Hungry
weekend on
Dog
Hungry
parlay
Dog.
Sunday.
Okay, got it.
Not with
got
that attitude. I'm gonna go 2 for 2 and be back.
Got it. All right. Let's start with our favorites. Favorites. We'll talk about every game. Hank, go ahead.
My favorite is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, against
Okay.
the Bears. Yeah, this is gonna be a
9.
whomping.
I think it's going to be a whomping. They're -9, but they've proven themselves, in my opinion, them and the Bills to be the 2 best teams in the league. The Bears don't play defense. The Eagles' offense is prolific. They're on a run.
It's a big word.
Nice.
And the Bears,
One of them $10
the
words.
Bears are, and rightfully so, as they should be. Like they're tanking. Like,
Okay.
They don't want to win. They don't want to fight.
so I
A
have,
win is bad.
I have one thing that should make you nervous about this pick because I agree. Like the Eagles should kill the Bears. I'm a terrible gambler, lifelong loser, historic loser, one of the best losers of all time. I have my Eagles' future. My team is the Bears. I want them to lose. If the Eagles don't get the 1 seed, my future is going to be in a lot more of a precarious spot because then they'd have to play 3 road games instead of playing 2 home games. Wouldn't me being a loser, lifelong loser, mean that the outcome that I don't want to happen, I don't want the Bears to win the game, and I want the Eagles to win the game, wouldn't it flip?
No,
That's
but
the
there's a
only thing
lot.
that would
yeah,
make me
I mean,
nervous.
But like, there's that would be more nerve wracking if we're talking about covering. But like, there's no chance the Bears win.
Exactly, except for the
They
fact that
might
I'm a
cover.
lifelong loser.
There's
I would-
no.
And
There's.
it's-
I would be
there's
more concerned-
0.0% chance. the
Okay.
Bears
I'd be
win.
more
Okay.
concerned about the fact that the Eagles have to play the Cowboys
next week.
next week, and this is a big time look ahead spot. It's a double look ahead spot for the Cowboys and for the Eagles.
Yes. And Hank, just think about it. Like I've been saying, oh, I'd really like the Bears to win 1. This is the one I really, really don't want them to win. And I am now in full, like, I know that I said like a month ago I'd like them to win 1. I'm now in full, I don't want them to win 1 because the difference between the 2nd pick in the draft and the 9th pick in the draft is going to be huge in terms of trade value. Like if they have the 2nd pick, they will most likely be able to get a couple picks out of that. And if they have the 9th pick, I think they're just going to have to use it. So that's the only thing I would just throw out there. I'm a loser. Look at this face. This is a loser face.
I know.
So just visualize on Sunday night when we're recapping the games, and I'm like, Why did the Bears win this game?
No.
Okay. All right. It would double hurt me.
Bang, bang.
I have a double hurt on the line. Okay. Max.
Broncos -3. Recency bias.
Against the Cardinals.
What if Russ is back?
What if Russ is back?
He's probably not going to play this week. He did have the best
I think
quarter
he's
of his year so far. That
practicing.
was an electric quarter that he played last week. I don't think he's playing. He's not practicing with a helmet on. I'm pretty sure he's in the protocol.
If there's
still.
one guy who thinks that he can beat a concussion, it's
well,
Russ Wilson.
I need to know how much of the nanobubbles he's drank this week before I touch this game.
Yeah. So it could be Colt McCoy versus Brett Rippon. Exactly what everyone wants to watch. I also have a fun stat for everyone out there. Weeks 1 through 7 in the NFL and weeks 1 through 4 in college football. Cliff Kingsbury's 36-15, 70% as a coach. Weeks 5+ in college football and 8+ in the NFL. He's 27-59, 31%.
He's bad.
That is quite something.
He's a bad coach. Their GM is taking a leave of absence right now.
Yep. Can't fire a guy with a leave
Can't
of
fire
absence.
a guy with leave of absence. Brilliant move on his part.
So smart.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Cliff's like, fuck, I should have done that.
I can't wait to not watch Hard Knocks
Yeah.
and figure out exactly why he's taking this leave of absence. Listen, if I gave Kyler Murray a huge contract like that and then gave Cliff Kingsbury a giant contract like that, I'd probably take a leave of absence too.
Yeah.
Can't get fired if you're not at work.
Yeah. Facts. By the way, Russell Wilson, so I just looked. It's not set whether he's going to play or not, but he did tweet on Monday night or maybe Tuesday night, Jesus, I am grateful.
Yeah.
So he might be back.
If I was Jesus, I would be at this point like, hey, Russ, keep my name out your mouth.
Yeah, it's bad
Like,
co-branding.
It's bad branding for me. I don't want to be lumped in with Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson on Instagram keeps trying to do like the co-post where
Yeah.
he's like, I'm going to share this with Jesus, and Jesus reviews it and denies it every time.
Yeah, Jesus is my homie. Jesus is like, well, I think we should see other people.
Yeah. Why can't Mahomes be a Jesus guy?
Yeah.
Why can't I get credit for that?
Yeah,
That type of
great.
skill.
Really, honestly, like great job, God.
Yeah.
With Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
but I mean, just chill out, Russ.
Yeah.
Russ is honestly like a little clingy towards Jesus. Sometimes.
He is. All right, PFT, your favorite.
I love the Minnesota Vikings this weekend.
Ooh.
-4.5. I think it's a perfect spot for the Vikings
Against the Colts.
The offensive line is healthier this week for the Vikings. The Colts, I don't know if they're just going to keep putting Matt Ryan out there until he dies on the
believe
field.
they will.
You know who his backup is? Nick Foles.
Yeah.
It might be Nick Foles' time in Indianapolis.
It could be Nick Foles.
It's just, it's sad. It's sad to see Matt Ryan go out there every week and just get his soul taken from his body. But this does feel like, I mean, like we said last week, the Vikings offense is very, very, very good.
Yes.
And so I'm confident that they'll be able to beat the Colts. Now here's the thing that makes me nervous about this, and it's completely stupid. It's Saturday.
On a Saturday.
Coaching on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wild.
Jake.
Wild.
That's
Jake's mind just got blown by that one.
I threw that out there earlier today because Jeff Saturday is a great test in like first impressions mean the most because he beat the Raiders that first week he was coach.
Yeah.
Frank Reich was 3-5-1. Jeff Saturday is 1-3. And if you look at the games, I know they were competitive in the Cowboys game till the end, but it was a blowout. But Frank Reich's last 3 games was a 9-point loss to the Titans, a 17-16 loss, and a blowout to the Patriots. The last 3 games for Jeff Saturday was a 24-17 loss to the Steelers, exact score 17-16 loss to the Eagles, and a blowout to the Cowboys. First impressions, he beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
I also got.
It's also Saturday coaching on Saturday.
Yeah, I also got some intel from Indy fans, which when I mean that, I mean it was just one guy replied to my tweet about Jeff Saturday, and it made all the sense in the world. He said that Jeff Saturday is basically just a mole for Jim Irsay, where he knew that he could trust Jeff Saturday, and he was like, I want to hire someone, bring someone in who I can trust will give me the honest truth and figure out if it's a Chris Ballard problem or if it's something that he can fix himself.
Yeah, I think that Jeff Saturday was actually more of just a flame to draw Peyton Manning in closer next year.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get him involved, whether as a coach or as a general manager, and getting Jeff Saturday in the door. That's the easy. Just bring his buddy in.
Yeah.
And then that'll be fun. That's the only thing that I have a problem with. I don't like betting against Saturday on a Saturday. It is kind of mind-blowing to think that that's going to happen. But I still again, we talk a lot of shit about the Vikings, but they're a good offensive team, and the Colts are not a good team right now.
Yes, facts. Okay, I'm gonna go with Bengals minus 3.5, which scares me a little bit because the Bengals have won and covered 5 straight games, so you'd think like they're at the peak of their market, and the Bucks are probably the lowest they've been. But I think the Bucks are just that bad. I really do. I think they're that bad. You have this pick as well?
I have this pick as well. I think Brady's skewing the lines just because he's Brady.
It's crazy how bad the Bucks look when you watch them. I know the Bengals have a couple banged up guys, but they also are still playing very much for the AFC North. And especially if the Ravens somehow lose on Saturday, like they could win and be now jump and get a home game, which would be significant. Joe Burrow also is the most profitable quarterback to bet on in the last 20 starts. He's 17-3 against the spread. That's insane.
That's pretty good.
That's insane.
And
Brady's been terrible against the spread this year.
He's been atrocious this year. I actually disagree. We're going to talk to Baldinger in a little bit, and he obviously has forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. I think Brady has reached the point where he should hang it up. It's sad watching him play.
He's going to keep playing.
I think this is a pass the torch game.
Oh, because there are a lot of people who are like Joe Burrow kind of reminds him of Brady of like, standing in there just slinging, just being a ice cold killer. Okay, I like that.
Pass the torch.
Pass
game.
the torch
means more.
Yeah. Okay, I have Bengals minus 3.5. So does Billy. Jake, the Bucks just stink.
They're bad.
I'm happy that I got a little bit of my money back when they beat the Rams and beat the Seahawks, and then I was able to just quit them out of my life. And I actually think I passed them to Hank because he's been betting on them. So that's too bad because you always made fun of me that I couldn't quit them. And you just took them.
A nasty case of TB going around.
Yeah, they're going to be in the Hungry Dog, aren't they? I had the Saints on Monday night. They covered. I had the Niners. Like you got a problem.
I had the Niners last week. That was my pick in this.
You have a problem. You have a Bucks problem.
No, I had the Niners last week.
Okay.
I see value, and there's a lot of value with them this week.
Okay, all right.
In order to get value, you typically have to win those bets, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is the game happen?
It's kind of how value
Wait,
works.
is the game happen?
No, but you've seen a lot of value
so I
in the
lost
past.
a bet. Well, wait.
You've lost a lot of bets. You've lost like a fuckload of bets this year.
Wait, hold on. I didn't realize the Bills went to 7. I'm taking the Bills. Fuck that. I didn't realize the Bills went to 7. They were 7.5.
Yeah, it's 7.
All right, so there you go. You can take the Bucks, and I won't be. You can put them in the Hungry Dog. You sticking with the Bengals, Billy?
I'm easily swayed.
You don't have to switch with me. I'm just saying. I had no idea the Bills went to 7. That's an auto bet.
I'm staying on the Bengals.
The Bills. So talking about the Bills-Dolphins game real quick. I apologize. I had no idea they went to 7. Tua has played 63 games in college and pro and never started a game that's been under 36 degrees.
Yep. Well, he's not a cold weather guy. He acts like he's not fazed by the snow whatsoever. Like this is going to be a big time fish out of water scenario.
Yes, and he also he started 3 games with the temperatures under 50 degrees, 0-3 straight up and against the spread. And Mike McDaniel was wearing a shirt in practice yesterday that just said, "I wish it were colder." Kind of feels like trying too hard.
It's not true.
Yeah,
it's not true.
Yeah, there's no way. Like you needed heaters in LA.
What? If you wish that it was colder, you wouldn't be wearing a shirt at all.
Right.
So, checkmate, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah. All right. So my Bills minus 7 is my pick. I do like the Bengals as well, but Bills minus 7 is my.
I also like
pick.
Cole Beasley's back.
Yep.
He might not light up the stat sheet this weekend, but he does feel like Josh Allen's version of Julian Edelman.
Well, it does feel. If you had to say like the one thing the Bills. It feels like they rely a lot on Josh Allen for those like 3rd and 8s where they need someone who can get open over the middle, and he is that guy.
He's like a tight end for them in that offense sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So Bills minus 7 is my pick. Billy, are you sticking with Bengals?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Bengals.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jake. Apologies for that. I didn't realize it was 7.5 like all week, and I was like, if it goes to 7, I'm betting it, and now I'm gonna bet it.
Lahu.
Let's go, Jake.
Commanders haven't lost a game in more than a month. Giants haven't won a game in more than a month. They had the bye week to sit on the tie.
It's funny
They're
how
playing back-to-back weeks,
Yeah.
back-to-back games for them.
It's funny how in that stat the Commanders get credit for a tie, but the Giants get dinged.
Yeah, exactly.
For their side of the tie. We won that tie.
It's true.
Do you know Daniel Jones has yet to win in primetime? He's 0-9.
Yeah, so 4.5 points.
He could still cover, but he's 0-9 in primetime.
The Giants are just trending in the wrong direction.
This is playoff atmosphere. This game is 100% going to be a playoff atmosphere game, which is shocking to have that game in Raleigh John, Maryland. But I think Jake's right. I think if you look at how the teams are trending right now, Washington trending up, they're rested. Bye week came at a good time. I like it, Jake. I really do like it. One fun fact, we can file this directly under the Do You Know Ball category. Do you know why the NFL football says the Duke on it? Anyone?
I feel like I know this, but
Does anyone know ball?
I know
France Ferdinand.
I know
real
it
ball.
has nothing to do with a juke move.
Correct.
Billy
Different word.
got it
It's
right.
rhyme.
That's
It
exactly
also
why.
it also
Roger
has
Goodell was
nothing
like
to
not
do.
juke.
It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons, nukes.
That's true.
Does it have
Okay.
anything to do with your alma mater?
It looks
No,
like
it
a
doesn't.
giant shit.
Does it have anything to do with
The
puke?
Dookie.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with puke.
Nope, nothing to do with
I
puke.
knew that as well.
Uh-huh. Nothing to do with fluke.
Like if you took a shit the size of
about-
a football, you'd be like, that's the Duke.
Yeah.
No, okay, so the real reason is the founder of the New York Giants, Tim Mara, he named his son Wellington after the Duke of Wellington. And then Tim Mara got the contract with Wilson Footballs to produce the football.
The Duke.
And then George Hollis told
Papa
Wilson,
Bear, yeah.
you should give a kickback to Mara by naming the football after his son.
Ooh.
And so it's named after the owner's son.
I like that.
That
That's
was
back
named
in,
after the Duke of Wellington.
That's back when the NFL was like just like NFL league meetings was just like 8 really old white dudes, and they're
Yeah.
like, we can name everything.
Let's name the football
Yeah,
after your
we
son.
can do whatever we want.
Yeah, that sounds
It's
good.
our league,
So
yeah.
they had that from 1941 to 1970. It was on the ball, and then they took it away after the merger. And then when Wellington Mara passed away in 2005, they put it back on.
beautiful.
That's why it's called the Duke.
That's beautiful.
So fun fact, you can regale your friends and family with that tale.
Yes.
It's named after a rich white guy's son who was named after another rich white guy.
Yeah. So there it is, the football, the Duke.
Left hand up.
Okay. So you have Commanders.
4.5.
4.5.
Yep.
That makes me nervous. I really just I would give almost anything to see a tie again.
It'd be
It would just
awesome.
be so funny.
I-
it would just be so fucking
You know what?
funny.
I'm offering the Giants a tie right now
Yeah,
before
I
we
mean-
even play the game.
Just having both of them just be like, yeah, they just like it just would be perfect.
They'll both be 7-5-2.
Oh,
Both 7-5-1.
I want it so bad.
Someone pointed out it could be a schedule Gami, a record Gami.
Ooh.
Like 7-5-1 teams facing off is probably never happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Flexigami.
This flex
Is
too.
Flexigami.
Yeah.
All right, Hank, your favorite underdog. A lot of underdogs.
Lot of underdogs.
You like a lot of them.
I do like a lot of them. The one I like the most, I know my guy Tom Brady better than everyone in this room. This is a spot where he wins. Everyone,
Wins.
his back is against the wall like it's never
It's
been before.
against the wall.
But not like this.
3.5.
They were favorites, or not favorites, but still. The back is against the wall this week. Everyone thinks it's going to be a Joe Burrow domination, torch passing.
yeah.
The torch is going to get passed after the game. Tom Brady's going to beat Joe Burrow and be like, here you go, son. I still got it, but you can have it.
I just think the Bengals.
I don't think that's how a
defense is so
torch
good.
passing works.
Maybe it's like more like, it's like a joint passing. Like, we can share it.
I just don't know.
Like it's double torch.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this:
Torch up together.
if the Bengals get up 10-0, do you think you have a chance?
Yes.
I don't.
It's Tom Brady.
Right, but the Bengals defense is very good.
They're banged up.
They're a little bit banged up. Was it Trey?
I also think
Hendrickson broke his wrist. I believe.
Did he?
I think so. But I think he's going to play, which is football guy. I'm going to look that up. I'm pretty sure he broke his wrist, and he's like, I'm still going to play.
I mean, it's going to tell us a lot about the Buccaneers how they come out this week after getting just the shit kicked out of them. That was embarrassing. This was, you know what this is? This is a do you have any pride game for the
But
Buccaneers.
they do have pride. They're still, everyone's shitting on the Buccaneers like the season's over. They're in playoff mode. They're in the locker room. They're in film training. They're like, guys, we got to gear up for a playoff run. Fact or fiction?
Yeah.
Fact.
So, like, they're not looking at, we just got our shit stomped. It's like, all right, let's break down. And it's Tom Brady. He's going to be like, let's break down the film. Let's come out. Let's win this game. And let's make a run for the playoffs. Who knows how to do that better than anyone else in the league?
So Trey
Tom
Hendrickson
Brady.
is going to probably be out for a few weeks, but he did play the entire fourth quarter against the Browns with a broken wrist.
That's badass.
Yeah.
We should be rooting for Tampa Bay to lose this game to try to hit the record Gami of having
Yes.
everybody in the NFC South finish the year 6-11.
Yes.
So I saw a story that turns out Tom Brady does adjustments with the skill players in a separate meeting, and the coaches don't know what adjustments he makes till they see it on game day. And I actually think this has been having a huge effect on their protections.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's why Brady's had no time.
Oh.
And he's been getting hit
Is
so
it-
much.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that their offensive line also sucks?
Right. As
Yeah.
well, but the thing is, like, positioning of skill players has a lot to do with in the protection stuff. So I feel like that misalignment of not having the whole offense on the same page and coaches not knowing what the hell Tom Brady's going to show up with on Sunday.
You call him a bad teammate?
I like there's protection breakdowns.
Careful, he might be a Jet next year.
That'd be weird.
It would be
That'd
so
be really
weird.
fucking weird.
That would be so fucking weird. All right, Max, your favorite underdog?
Raiders plus a half
Ooh.
at home against the Pats.
Josh
Okay.
McDaniels
Yeah.
versus Bill Belichick.
The
He
student
said-
and the teacher.
said, I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Bill Belichick.
He's his dad.
It's a nice thing to say. Yeah.
Now, Josh McDaniels, didn't he beat Bill Belichick when he was on the Broncos?
It was when they went to 6-0. They won with Kyle Orton in an overtime game, and that was like Josh McDaniels. What an awesome coach.
He's got Bill Belichick's number.
And then he's lost pretty much every game since.
Basically every game
Yeah.
at that point. Yeah, the 6-0. I still remember that because it was like Josh McDaniels is the next era of head coach in the
Right,
NFL. Like
right.
he was the young hotshot guy that everybody thought he was what Sean McVay ended up being.
Right. Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, I think, are going to be back for the Raiders.
Oh, this is the game to see who the best bad team in the NFL is.
Yes. It's the king of the bad teams.
What does that look, Hank?
Well, Hank, we never got your take on Monday Night Football because you were sick. Anything you'd like to say? Are you back?
So bad.
You're in the playoffs
Yeah.
as of right now.
We're so back. Patriots games have been so fun to watch this year.
I actually think that
Super Bowl 7 on the way.
I think that whichever team wins this game would actually be the worst good team, and the team that loses might be the best bad team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how they win. If it's like a close game and they're both kind of sucking it out there, I think they both stay bad teams, but
Yeah.
one of them's the best.
But
bad
like
team.
if the Patriots blow them out, if the
Yeah,
Patriots
yeah.
win like 30 to
yeah,
10.
I think that you elevate them to worst
Then-
good team.
Yep.
We've
agree.
talked about it all year, but like watching Patriots games sucks. And
Oh, I feel
at,
so
at
bad.
this point in the year, it's like they're not winning the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Like, yeah, we can
That's
make
gotta
the,
be really
we can
tough
make
for
the
you.
playoffs. That'd be cool.
yeah. Hey, welcome to our world, man. Welcome to hell.
Making the playoffs is fun.
Water's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Okay. PFT underdog.
My underdog this week is going to be the Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
+3. This feels like a Tractorcito game. I know it's going to be indoors, or I guess technically not indoors because they had a lightning delay there one time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of indoors, but I still feel like this is a big time Derrick Henry game. The Chargers' run defense sucks dick. Derrick Henry is just going to run it down their throats.
Remember last year when we talked about the Titans, they played 91 players. They're close to reaching that again this year. They're the most injured team. They've played 80 players this year. I think Danico Autry's coming back though. They've had a lot of defensive injuries this year, but Titans. This is like if you're a Titans fan, you should be saying every day like we gotta fix something with the training staff.
Yeah.
Like next year, if we're gonna make any changes, training staff and off season, conditioning because something's not working.
Yeah, this to me feels like it's a big time moment between Staley and Mike Vrabel. Mm-hmm. And Staley's like he knows football. He's a smart guy, but when it comes to like getting dudes ready for a playoff stretch right now, that's Vrabel Town.
Yes, that is. Okay, my underdog. I am going to. This is probably going to backfire. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars +4.5. Cowboys in a look ahead, big time look ahead with the
kinda like it.
Eagles. Yeah, it's just I feel like it's one of those games I'll know right away. Like if the Jaguars, because the Jaguars are a team that like they'll take a step forward and then they'll take 2 steps back. So if I get caught in a 2 steps back situation, it's going to get ugly. But the Cowboys have some injuries. I don't know. We can never visualize this matchup going to Jacksonville. Also, the Jaguars, it feels like they're a house of horrors for like Super Bowl contending teams late in the season. You go there, you lose a game, everyone's like, what the fuck just happened? Jaguars +4.5.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
I don't hate it.
I'm
It's
riding.
Big time look ahead game. The Texans should have beat the Cowboys last week.
Yeah.
Like they
Until they realized, wait, we want to lose this game and then lost.
yeah, when they didn't get the ball in from the 2-yard line. Then at that point they were like, we might as well lose it since we didn't get in.
Yeah.
Like,
Lovey looked up and
let's
was
take
like,
advantage
shit,
of this. Yeah.
we got to fucking lose.
But yeah, the Cowboys, they haven't looked great. Yeah, they kicked the shit out of the Colts a couple weeks ago,
But it was close.
But
It was 21-19 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the fourth quarter, it was a very close game until they absolutely nuked them.
Right.
But the Cowboys, they feel like I'll put it this way: if they take care of business, this is a big time take care of business game. If they go to Jacksonville and they win impressively, then I'm going to be all in on the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately,
Billy, favorite underdog.
I'm taking a New York team. I don't know if it's going to be the Giants or the Jets. The Jets is a pick 'em, so I don't like that line.
Make everything so weird.
Wait,
No,
so
but I
what-
actually like the Giants
so what's
because
the
they can
pick?
tie. I've been choosing between two. I think I'm going to go with the Giants by 4.5
Okay.
because they
But
can
you
even
wanted
tie.
to shout out the Jets.
The thing is, I just don't like the line.
What do you mean?
It's a pick 'em. There's
Yeah.
more space. There's more room for hitting it with more points.
Yeah.
Whereas the pick 'em is it's not even an underdog.
You got to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I do think Mike White's gonna get the win though.
Big time with Zach Wilson being QB2 now.
I know. So there's a little fire underneath him.
Yeah.
He might be back.
He might be back. Like
I know.
we're one, and Mike White loves to get injured.
I can't wait for that to happen, and then they win, and Billy's football's like Zach Wilson, future.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, where we're at with that relationship right now, it's like he's been begging to get let back in the house.
The thing-
begging, and they finally cracked the door. They're like, I know you're homeless. You can come inside, but you're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
But it's like the thing is record wise, he was 5-2.
Right.
So you're already
we're
talking
0-2.
yourself
So
back
you're
into
back
him.
in.
Okay, yeah, you're fully back in.
Taylor Heineke
Already. He hasn't done shit. He stopped getting asked to not come to the games, and Billy's like, I think he's back.
He's been
5-2.
working on his fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good.
He's a grinder.
Fuck it, Jets pick him.
Oh, there it is.
Jets pick
And
'em. Jets pick
history
'em.
repeats itself. Okay, Jake. Underdog.
So Jets.
Jets pick 'em.
Okay, I am with you on the Jaguars plus 4.5.
Let's go
They're a
together,
feisty
baby.
team. Look at all these like usually bad teams getting hot late.
They-
Lions,
and-
Jaguars, Commanders.
And the Jaguars are playing for something. There is
Yeah.
a world where if they go 3-1 and the Titans go 1-3, sorry to say better, if the Jaguars go 2-1 and the Titans go 1-2, that Week 18 game between the two of them will decide the division.
Yeah.
Which would be funny because that would probably be the Sunday night game. Imagine the Jaguars Sunday night Week 18 to get to the playoffs.
It'd be amazing.
Oh,
That
man.
pool-
I'm
would that
eyeing
be
a
in
revenge
Duval?
game.
Yeah.
Dolphins,
Yeah, in
Jets,
Duval.
by the way.
The
for
pool
that
would be
flex.
filled with people.
Oh, so filled.
Can you imagine that?
So filled. What are you saying? What are you saying, Jake?
I'm eyeing a flex of the year Dolphins Jets revenge game, personal revenge game.
Personal revenge.
That could
game.
be a winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home, and I am ready for the Jet fans.
Ooh.
Billy's pointing his fingers at me. Yep,
I didn't do it.
it's on camera.
What does that mean that you're ready?
After what they did to me in Week 5.
Yeah, but what are you ready to do? What does being
Eliminate
ready look
them.
like?
Eliminate them.
Yeah.
Or get
was-
eliminated.
That was
Yeah,
fucking cold blooded, Jay.
yeah. Damn. He's ready to do it.
In them,
Yeah.
they will be
So
no
I'm eyeing
more.
that game.
Yeah, I almost got mad at Jake for a second there when he was like, you see all these usually loser teams getting good at the end of the season,
I
like the
mean,
Lions, the
you can't defend
Jaguars, and
that.
the Commanders. And then I thought for a second,
Dolphins are a loser team too.
I know, but I thought
Yeah.
first I got mad initially, and then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
So we'll see.
Okay. Hank, your favorite over. I actually love all the unders this week. It's a problem.
I hope you guys can help me figure this one out first before I make a pick.
Okay.
Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike McDaniel, best offensive minds in the league. One of the best offensive teams, right?
Yeah.
well,
Josh Allen,
well.
Stephon Diggs. The Bills have been running it up all
Did you
year.
hear our weather report on Tuesday?
Why?
I
What
think Hank
reason
tuned out
could this
for that.
possibly be?
The weather.
that it's only 44.
Snow.
Have you ever looked at a giant thermometer, Hank?
Weather isn't real.
Also,
over 44.
You guys, it's 43
also
and a
the
half,
Dolphins
so
have only scored
better.
It
17
was the
points.
9-3 game when weather was an issue when you went, whatever it was.
Was it real? No.
No, it wasn't. I'd still do it.
We were there. I was in a T-shirt.
They've only scored 17 points the last 2 weeks. 17 points, 17 points. So it's like their offense has definitely hit a snack.
Yeah, but if they score
so
17 and the
43 and
Bills
a
score
half.
40,
Don't let Tyreek
That's
Hill recover
true.
a fumble. Don't let him get the ball in the open field.
Is
Yeah, but
Tyreek?
then he can't return it, so you're
What if
you're
the
good.
Bills? What if the Bills score 28 and the Dolphins score 17? That's a winner.
that's a winner.
Is
Yeah.
Tyreek okay?
His ankle.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
I mean, that gets aggravated in the super cold.
Yeah.
With that atmospheric
gonna be that
pressure.
cold.
True. Billy's
Listen,
right.
Weather
Billy's
is
right.
not real.
It's
This game is going way over.
I'm a big believer
one
in
thing I
atmospheric
know.
pressure because that does make you hurt.
You're a
more.
huge believer in atmospheric.
No, when they
I
say
always
that-
say that Billy is the biggest atmospheric pressure guy that I know.
No, but when they talk about like the sky being like a cloudy day, you hurt more.
Yeah.
Like your old
Your
injuries.
knees, yeah.
Like your back. I do believe in that.
Well, so I kind of see where you're coming from because Tyreek Hill, like he's got so much muscle in his body that it just cramps up naturally all the time. In the cold weather, that probably exacerbates it a little bit.
Tyreek Hill also is gonna he's a primo, like wearing a full hooded sweatshirt underneath his uniform.
Yeah.
He's not gonna like the cold. Although he played in Kansas City.
Even
so maybe,
Bills players are playing like practicing in parkas, like full ass coats.
Yeah, you practice,
Yeah.
but then you go on the field just sleeveless.
the Dolphins are gonna be bothered by the cold. I can guarantee you that.
Their name is the Dolphins.
Yeah. They're
That's all you
wearing
need to
shirts
know.
that say "I wish it were colder." That's a guaranteed sign that you don't.
Yeah. You should be
You don't.
completely nude if you actually wish that it was colder.
Yeah, AC blasting you.
It's like when you wear positive vibes only shirts.
Right. I'm trying to will positive vibes when the vibes are not good.
So they're trying to will cold weather.
Right, but did you hear the part about the vibes not being good?
No. Saturday night, great game. Weather doesn't matter. This is going way over.
Okay. Max, your favorite over?
Trust.
Jags, Cowboys. I just think this is going to be a fun game. So, over.
I like it.
Okay.
47.
I like it. I like it. PFT.
I'm riding with Hank.
Let's go.
Weather's
Nice.
not real.
Weather's not real.
Weather's not real. I'm with you, Hank. I saw this matchup, and I thought the exact same thing.
Let's go.
I thought Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Alec Ingold, the big three for the Dolphins right there. They're going to put it down the Bills' throat. Bills are going to respond. It's going to be a shootout. Weather's not real. In fact, it's a holiday season. If this overhits, I'm going to give free subscriptions to Part of My Take to everybody.
Wow.
that's
I
listening.
match.
I'll match too, honestly. I don't
Okay,
I know.
triple it?
I don't usually match you guys, but it's
Yeah.
it's the holiday season.
Yeah, it's good.
Quadrupled.
All right, thank
All
you,
right,
Jake.
you know, I'm gonna probably bet this over, so I'll ride with you guys in that. My official pick will be the Lions Jets over 44.5, but I'm gonna ride it with you guys.
Come
Weather's
on.
not
Yeah, you
real.
got to.
Yeah.
It snowed one time in a Patriots game. They scored 59 points.
That's true.
That did happen one time.
Different type of snow.
I do like. I think that game. This is how down bad Hank's gotten this year between his hungry dogs and the Patriots not looking so great. Is he just keeps replaying that one game in his head like 7 times this season?
No, I mean I follow a couple accounts on Twitter that are literally just like one of them's Pat's throwback clips and one of them's just Tom Brady random drives where they just post like a drive from like the Pittsburgh Steelers game 2013 and it's like 2 completions to Edelman and then a long completion to Gronk and then a touchdown. But yeah, that definitely is in my head.
Yeah.
They're great. I mean, it's my favorite accounts, but it's like I'm living in the past for sure.
All right, I'm taking that Jets Lions over 44.5. It's based a lot on Quinnen Williams potentially not playing. We're going to talk about him with Baldy, but he means so much to that Jets defense. Lions offense is humming right now. Mike White not afraid to push it down the field. I think we're going to get some points in this game.
I also took this. This was seriously. I have it written down.
I know.
Yeah, you double up on the Jets
remember-
game every week.
There was a lot of unders. I actually don't do this as a bit. This is real.
Right. We know.
Oh, dude, you had me fooled.
We know your brain is not a bit.
I know.
What do you do as a bit?
Yeah.
It
Tell
depends
us
on the day.
bits
You don't
do.
want to know the
It
bits.
depends on the day. But
Patrick
when we were
Mahomes,
talking about
the things
Zach
that don't
Wilson,
work out,
that was a
yeah.
bit.
when we talk about like there was a bunch of great unders this week, but this was like just the best over. The best. The Lions
Yeah.
have been an over team. The Jets are gonna click, and I think there are a couple injuries on the Lions defense too.
Yeah.
So we'll see
Okay.
what happens.
So let's ride, Billy. Yours, Jake.
I'm going with the battle of Big Cat versus Max. The Eagles and the Bears over 48.5. Yes,
Ooh.
the Bears haven't won, but they score.
They
I know
do.
Justin Fields is dealing with an illness right now, but the Eagles can obviously score too. And if you want to watch this battle, you can use the Game Time app for $102 between Philadelphia and Chicago.
Ooh, I like it. Game
I like this
time
one
app.
as well because this also falls under the like it could be 41 to
41-10
Okay,
or
yeah,
like
all right. So
33-20.
0.0. Is this making you nervous, Max? That
I know what he's doing.
Hank
I
has
know what
the
he's
Bears
doing.
winning at 0.0, like no reason to even play the game?
I hate this game.
Yeah.
I hate this game.
Yeah.
I think
You should.
Whatever.
You should. Go to the Game Time app. Exclusive deals, Game Time offers you can't find anywhere else. Flash deals in the app. Download Game Time. Go to the account tab to create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. What was it, Jake?
102.
So there you go.
There's
You
gonna be a
can
lot
get
of
in
points,
for $82. $82 with the Game Time app. Check it out right now and use that code PMT for $20 off your first purchase.
Max
Hey.
thinking I would mush possibly having a bowl and eat 20 hot dogs just for the Eagles to lose is crazy.
Well, no, it
That's
sounds
not
like,
crazy at
No,
all.
Sounds like you're mad.
0.0 is
That was the line that really.
the Bears Eagles play 100 times. The Bears win 0 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just the quarterback matchup. I want to do the Browns. I'm 2-0. That's probably the best streak I've been on this year is the Browns. But the logic being that Deshaun Watson's not warmed up, you assume he's kind of warmed up now. So I don't think it plays as much. So I'm going to take the Cardinals-Broncos under 36.5.
Okay, I like that just because
Just
that
because of the quarterback matchups, but then you think that, and then it's like that, and there's like 2 defensive touchdowns.
it does feel like the game that's going to bum you out the most to watch.
No, Lions-Jets under 44.5.
Oh.
Okay.
This is
Head-to-head.
huge for the competition
the
because Billy
Jets-
and Hank are against
I wanna
each other twice.
The
So
Wow.
Jets
This could
defense.
either-
The Jets defense is legit.
Quentin Williams.
Quentin Williams doesn't matter. He'll probably play.
Quentin doesn't matter.
this
Yep.
could either even things up or create a huge gap. So this is a pivotal week.
Wow.
I want to go to the review table right now. I think there might be some fading right now.
of
Just,
you?
just want to put it on.
But why would you guys both equally suck
I also
right now.
pick first, so you could be fading. No,
No, you're fading my. I already gave those picks, and you're taking the opposite.
You took the opposite of his over.
Is that the only one?
I mean, next week we'll start writing them down.
Yeah.
And stick
okay.
to it.
We will.
Also, Billy, this could benefit you.
Yeah, this
if
could
you win
benefit you.
both, you're up 4 games
Have
on
confidence in your picks,
Yeah.
Billy. Okay. Max.
I'm with Hank. I think Jets win this game ugly.
Ooh. Okay.
I think Lions went ugly, but
PFT.
doesn't matter.
I'm struggling right now because I feel like Deshaun Watson. I feel like I've read something about him that he never plays in cold weather, and he didn't want to play in cold weather, right? When
Yeah.
he was talking about his teams that he was trying to go to this offseason, I think like staying in a place that was warm was important to him. It's gonna be windy. It's gonna be cold. I want to bet against him, but I'm gonna take Falcons Saints. I'm gonna do the under the Falcons Saints instead.
We got Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder time. Desmond Ridder, Andy Dalton.
43.
You tell me, is that an over game?
No.
No,
No.
definitely. Will Compton's not going to be playing on the Falcons, so that defense is pretty good.
Yep.
Under 43.
Also, Andy Dalton, fun fact, has the second most losses on extended rest in the last 10 years. 18 losses straight up on extended rest.
That's pretty-
Stafford being the only one worse.
That's pretty impressive.
yeah, just more time
Yeah.
is bad.
I'm also just on a personal vendetta for the rest of the season against the Saints. Just fuck you.
yeah, fuck them.
Just fuck you.
them. Fuck them. The extended rest, by the way, the one thing that's in Hank's favor is the Bears in the last 20 years are 5-17 on extended rest. They just can't. If you give them more time, they'll find a way to be worse.
They start to hibernate.
Yeah, it's
They're
bad.
Bears.
It's bad. All right, I'm going to go with this one's gross because I think you're going to have to survive like the pace of the over being at like 60 at some point. But I'm going to take Chiefs Texans under 49.5 because I think that the Chiefs are going to whomp them. And also the Texans, Lovey, going to play some cover 2, going to keep everything in front of them. Chiefs going to have to go down the field. It is going to be, though, like first quarter, it's going to be like 21-3. And you're going to be like, oh, fuck. But it's going to slow down.
Okay.
It's going to slow down. Trust the process. Also, if you want to, the MVP market, Mahomes is now plus 200 to win, and Jalen Hurts is minus 150. Just throwing this out there. I think Jalen Hurts probably will win, but Jalen Hurts does have a primetime game against the Cowboys. If that goes poorly, Mahomes is playing like the worst teams down the stretch. He's playing the Texans, Seahawks, Broncos, and Raiders. So he might put up some numbers.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes could get the MVP every single year.
Yeah. It's just more of a, like, if you think maybe Jalen Hurts has a bad game on primetime, Christmas Eve, literally everyone in the world watching, that would be the only case. I'm not going to do it, but I'm just throwing that out there for the people. You're under.
They're not beluga whales. They're dolphins. Bills Dolphins under 43.5.
Boo.
So you're fading Hank.
No, I had it written down.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you did that whole thing knowing you were going to end up being opposite of him?
Yeah.
Wow. So They're opposite 3. This is huge. As the last place person, I love to see this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love
that's
to
good.
see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
All right. Are beluga whales, are they cold weather?
They are.
Okay.
You're a special boy.
It's not a bit.
Not
It's
a
not a
bit.
bit. Not a bit. Not a bit. All right, Jake.
I'm taking a new game we haven't talked about yet. Steelers-Panthers under 37.5.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
I mean-
So maybe Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. He's taking QB2 reps. Might be Mason Rudolph. I feel like
the Panthers
Kenny's
are
out.
playing for something. I don't know. I just can't envision a high-scoring game.
Yeah, they're gonna run the ball.
I'm rooting for Mason Rudolph. I want Mason Rudolph to come in and throw 3 interceptions. That way we'll have games this year with 3 interceptions from Mitch, from Kenny, and from Mason. That's got to be a record,
That would be
right?
special. That would be a very special thing to watch. Any games we missed? I think we hit them all. Yeah. Good job, everyone. Ravens, Browns, we talked about. Yeah. Tyler Huntley, possibly, most likely, maybe not concussed. Said afterwards that he wasn't actually concussed. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that will stave off having to watch Anthony Brown play quarterback. I think that's all the games.
Oh, we never had any. We talked about Baltimore, Cleveland. No one officially had a pick, but
yeah. Yeah.
I would take
yeah.
the Ravens in this one.
I would too.
Just the Deshaun thing, and also the Deshaun thing, which for the record may or may not be real, or may not exist only in my head. But to me, it's just a matchup of Kevin Stefanski and Harbaugh.
Yeah, and a good defense against
And Monday
Deshaun
night is
Watson.
Rams-Packers, which
Yeah.
looks like Baker.
Yes, Baker. Yeah.
Baker
Okay.
Gonzalez.
Let's do. We do need our Mount Rushmore. We haven't won it in forever.
Derrick Henry, Tractorcito season.
Justin Fields.
Ramondre. No, he's injured.
Come on, Hank.
I mean, the one last week should have hit with Ezekiel and
Pollard. Yeah.
Pollard.
Yeah.
That was juicy too.
Chubb. We do Chubb.
I'll go Ezekiel.
No, I think you got to do a Sunday. Got to go Sunday.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay. Sunday. Do a Sunday game.
Josh Jacobs.
Okay. I like it. Mm-hmm. Those are our Mount Rushmore. All right. We'll do Fantasy Fuckboys, and then we have Baldy. Okay. Let's do Fantasy Frenchmen.
Sacre bleu.
Hello.
My name is Henri.
Henri.
Mixamlier.
What was that?
That's my last name. Mixamlier.
Oh.
Sounds.
It's French.
Is it French?
Le Grenouille.
Mr. Henry is J'apples. J'aime apples.
Jim Apples.
Qu'est-ce que c'est apples?
I love green apples, red apples, and j'aime apples.
Oh.
My system is croissants.
Croissants.
No plain bagel, no cinnamon raisin bagel, no onion bagel, no everything bagel.
Qu'est-ce que c'est Jamaican?
On a croissant.
Island
Put a little
boy.
ham in that.
And my C10 is French fries at Taco Bell.
Des
bon.
frites.
What else can't they do? They're announcing French fries at Taco Bell.
I smell an Englishman.
Très bon, très bon.
Très bon.
Zut alors, je m'appelle JPP.
Salut,
JPP.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oui.
Et my start is I'm starting to smoke again.
Oh.
I'm starting to smoke again the cigarette. Parce que mon ami Henri,
Oui.
he told me, he say, JPP, you start a bad habit, so you quit bad habit, a New Year resolution.
Is he a lover or a friend?
A little bit of both. We are French. Yeah. We are French here. We are French. I'm sitting showering. Sitting showering. Showering, conserve the water.
Deodorant too.
And
No.
my sleeper is taking naps afternoon after my lunch break.
After some vine.
When I wake
Some
up.
wine, my children and I drink a bottle of wine at lunch.
Yeah, some champagne.
And I have the bowel movement. And then je suis dormir.
Okay.
Poupari.
How you say hello?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Salut.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Je
Grand
m'appelle
show.
Pierre.
Le grand chat.
Pierre. My stardom is character consoles.
Oui.
It's that time of season. Todd McShay.
Je-
Character consoles.
Qu'est-ce que c'est un
Yeah.
caractère?
This guy didn't go to
Tom
class.
Pepe Le Pew.
Drop him in the draft.
He was spending 2 months vacation with his family.
This guy likes to fuck penis and vagina too much.
A little bit of romance.
Sex problem.
Not too much.
My situm is Ty Lue. He got hit on this balls.
Oh no.
With a pass. It was funny. And my sleeper is bowl season. Balls. Give me all the balls.
Toutes les balles.
Balls here, balls there, balls
Toutes les
everywhere.
balles. Les balles orange. Très orange.
Les pamplemousse.
Yeah, les pamplemousse.
Oui, les pamplemousse.
Grape of fruit.
Oui.
Oui. Très orange.
Ben.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Hey, Tennessee.
Oui.
Les Valor Hills.
Ty Lue's oui, and des balls.
Salut, mon ami.
Oh, bonjour.
Pierre Bassot de
Pierre.
Moi, c'est Pierre.
Pierre. Two Pierres. We're lucky Pierres.
Oui.
Poisson de Grand Oui.
Oui.
Yeah. It's
best.
Sus.
No. It's a bust. My stardom is Mbappe, right?
Oh,
See?
okay.
Mbappe.
C'est bon.
The best. He kicked the ball. My system is us, the French, when we pee.
Yeah, when we pee.
We said it's a little
With our
nice-
wee.
It's a nice treat for
Très
me.
civilized.
Little
You
dribble.
know. Yeah, we sit. My sleeper, the Germans.
oui.
Germans.
Julius Caesar came back from the dead. He'd say, "Why are there still Germans?"
Yeah.
We are.
Je ne sais pas.
Oui.
Je ne sais pas. You look a little German.
No.
You look a little German. Let us see your foreskin.
Count to three. Let me see you count to three. No.
Oh,
You have given yourself away.
no.
Oh, man. That
I'm
was
from
fun.
Alsace-Lorraine.
That was a good time.
That's your best accent I've ever heard, PFT.
Yeah,
I've
fantasy
heard
French.
you do a lot.
I do that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's pretty low bar.
I think it was because it's
No, I
the only
know.
one that Greeny can't
I was
do.
about to say, and when I do this accent, you could get the 1-800 flowers. My wife.
Didn't hear Skip, didn't hear Mahomes.
Stayed out of all of them. All
I'm
right.
gonna pass out.
Billy, yeah, you can take that off. Let's kick it to Brian Baldinger. Great interview. Great football guy. Baldy, part of the show now.
Before we get to Baldy, he's brought to you by my favorite drink in the entire world. You guys know I love Mountain Dew. I love the Dew. Hank even got me a Mountain Dew polo shirt. That was a nice gift. Best gift I've ever received in my life. It's the holidays, and everybody's got hot food takes around the holidays. Mine, I've got a couple. I think that stuffing should be year-round. I also think that turkey should be served more frequently than just Thanksgiving and Christmas. Turkey is a great meat. Ben Franklin wanted turkey to be the national bird of the United States. Fun fact. And Mountain Dew is back with a holiday hot take of their own. They're making fruitcake cool again. Mountain Dew is celebrating the release of Mountain Dew Fruitquake by challenging the internet to share their hot takes on common holiday debates. From fruitcake, caroling, turkey stuffing, whatever it is, Mountain Dew wants you to drop your most unpopular holiday-related opinion. What's in it for you, you might ask? Well, a coveted bottle of Mountain Dew Fruitquake. That's right. Get your hands on it before Frank the Tank snatches it up. Share your tags. Share your takes. Tag the Mountain Dew social media accounts for a chance to earn some cold Mountain Dew Fruitquake. Follow at Mountain Dew on social for more info. Share your holiday food take or just your holiday take and tag the Mountain Dew social media accounts, and you might win some Mountain Dew Fruitquake. It's delicious. Check it out. You'll love it. And now here he is, Brian Baldinger.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. I would actually say a guest that I don't know how we haven't had him on in the 7 years we've been doing this. He's a football guy through and through. It is Baldy, Brian Baldinger. You can find him on NFL Network. You can find him on Compass Media. You can find him on Twitter at Baldy NFL. He's got breakdowns. He does everything. He's a football guy through and through. So, Baldy, let's start there. I apologize on my behalf that we have not had you on yet, because would you say you're up there with people in the world who love football the most?
I don't think anybody loves it more than me. I think I'm at the very top of the food chain. So nobody loves it more because nobody works harder at it, because it's never work. It's just I sit in a film room, a dark room, like what a mushroom would grow in. Like just a dark room, give me a couple cups of coffee, and I can grind tape for 15 hours a day and have so much fun doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing I've always loved about your breakdowns. You get them out fast too. I feel like you get the all 22 before anybody else gets it, right? Do you have like a direct line to
Pretty
NFL
much.
films?
The NFL doesn't like it when I put it out there right away because like teams haven't even had a chance to watch their own games, and I'm already evaluating their. So they're like, can you just like hold off till Monday morning, 5 a.m. ball? So they get mad at me, but I'm just trying to feed the fans. The fans want to see it.
You are the first person I go
I'm
to.
announcing the Chargers-Tennessee game, so it's a late game. So I'll be getting, interest from fans like Detroit and the Jets. Like, what the heck is, what is Jared Goff doing on that throw? Like, like I'm already getting people telling me what they want to see. So, like, I'm just trying to feed them.
That's awesome. So what like in a general week, we know you're traveling on the weekend for the games. But do you watch every game on film? Do you watch back, or how does the process work? I'm very curious.
All right, so listen to this. You'll love this, guys. So I'm doing San Francisco and Tampa last Sunday. So I'm at Levi Stadium. I'm down the field before the game, talking to all the guys, just getting, Debo's telling me about Brock Purdy, whatever it is. So the game ends. It's blowout. 49ers win. While the game was going on, I had my computer that I'm on right now. Uploading all the 1 o'clock games. So the game ends, and I just immediately kind of turn around. I start watching the 1 o'clock games. Start watching, the Jets and Buffalo, and so I started breaking it down. Eagles, blown out, whoever the Giants, whatever it is. So I was there in the stadium. Literally, every single person that cleans the stadium was gone. In fact, security came in I had an 11:30 red eye back to Philadelphia. So at like 10 o'clock, security came in and goes, hey, you can't stay here any longer. Like literally, I was the last one to leave the stadium before they locked it up. So, I got 5 hours in them. And then I don't sleep on planes. So I just watched 5 more hours on a plane home. So I kind of got to jump.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You're ready to go. So, all right, so that game, because we want to talk about this weekend in the NFL. So that game, you saw it, Bucks, 49ers. The Bucks, to me, and I want your take on it, they just look slow. They look slow at all times. Like, their plays look slow. Guys aren't winning. Would you say it's Tom Brady, or would you say it's the offensive line in front of him and his playmakers, like him not trusting the guys around him? Because I still think he has a live arm, but it's looked so bad this year.
Well, you could look it up. He threw the ball 55 times in each of the last 2 games, and, they're not scoring any points. They had the 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns against New Orleans, but they were dreadful for 3.5 quarters in that game. And they were dreadful against Cleveland the week before when he threw it 48 times. When Tom Brady is throwing the ball to the sidelines, this offense is doing nothing. Like, they're not scoring points. They're not converting third downs. And that's what he's doing because he doesn't trust his protection. And so Tom Brady, not trusting his protection, he's not getting – you could talk about Julio Jones or Godwin or Evans. The ball's not going down the field to those guys. And if it's not going down the field to those guys and he's not getting chunk plays, the offense is stuck in the mud. And that's where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it when you break down the trenches. That's when you get real fired up when you talk about especially like the baddest defensive lines in the league. I remember a couple years ago you were real high on the Commanders when they had Chase Young and they had Montez Sweat cooking and Jonathan Allen, all those guys.
Yeah.
Chase Young's coming back. He should be back this weekend. I've been on the mindset that the Washington defensive line, it looks better at times without Chase Young in it than it did when he was playing his not his rookie year, but his second year before he got hurt. It's like a cohesive unit. Am I a real big dumbass for thinking that?
No, you're actually seeing it exactly right. Because I was on Chase Young last year before the injury, going, hey, I respect Defensive Player of the Year and how hard he played his rookie year. But, he had to get better. Like, he was just using his raw talent just to run and chase, and he had elite athletic movement. You saw all that, but you didn't see, an adroit pass rusher. You didn't see a plan. And so last year, before he got hurt, he just didn't play hard enough. Like, I pointed it out, when I see offensive linemen down the field at the ball before Chase Young is there, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And so what you're seeing right now, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, they're playing really hard. Smith Williams, they're playing real hard. If Chase, comes on and he plays as hard as the guys around him are playing, then the defense will get better. But if he doesn't, If he just like sort of stands there and patty cakes with the offensive tackle, then they're not going to get better. So it's really up to Chase's motor. It's inside of him. He's got to unleash it. And he has to know. And I'm good friends with Ron Rivera. I've talked to Ron about it. They fired their defensive line coach during training camp this year. And he knew, because, he comes from Chicago, where they probably had the best defense any of us have seen in our lifetime, and like he knows how hard you got to play and how physical you got to play. And they're right there. They're on the cusp of playing just the way Ron wants them to play. And if Chase comes in and plays like that, then this defense could take another step.
So speaking of defensive lines, give us your top 3 right now going into the stretch run in playoffs of defensive lines, because we see it every year in the playoffs. The teams that can find a way to win with 4 will have the best chance when it comes to a playoff football game and being able to get pressure with 4 on the quarterback. So who are the 3 teams right now that you're like their front 4 will be able to stand the test of time of playoff football?
Without giving it really any thought right now, just knee-jerk. I'd go Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys. And they're probably, the 3 favorites right now in the NFC for sure. But I would have to put like Cincinnati with DJ Reader back in there at defensive tackle, and you get Hendrickson and you get Hubbard, Joseph Asai is a young player. Like that's a pretty good group, and they're very you can very underestimate them. But they've got what it takes to be, a really good defense, like what we saw in the postseason a year ago.
So actually this just popped in my head because we're going to talk about Week 15 games. The Jets-Lions. If Quinnen Williams doesn't play, that to me feels like the most important player. Sauce Gardner's been great this year. They've had a lot of guys who've been great on defense, but it feels like everything starts with him. Is that a fair assessment that if he's not playing, that is the most important player on their defense?
Yes, completely. In fact, I just got, right before I came on with you guys, I was on with the Jets doing something, for Robert Saleh and, their TV thing. And I was just asking, like, what's Quinnen like? I don't think he's going to play. He's got a calf. He went out of the game last week, and they play Thursday night. So they play Jacksonville on Thursday night. So I don't think they're going to rush him. I think they're going to get him ready for Jacksonville. But it's a huge loss because there's very few defensive tackles in this league right now. Chris Jones. I mean, there's a couple that are affecting the game from the interior the way Quinnen Williams is and has been all year. He's a candidate for the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, if he misses a game, that kind of knocks him down a little bit. But he's just been that good. They don't have anybody else like him. John Franklin Myers, you could put some guys in there, but not the way Quinnen's playing. He makes, Bryce Huff and Carl Lawson, he makes these guys on the edge that much better.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the baddest dude in the NFL on defense?
Ooh.
Might not be the best guy, but the baddest dude.
Nastiest guy.
Max Crosby,
bad dude.
Max Crosby is the best defensive player in this league. Now, I talked to Nick Bosa last week, and Nick heard me say that, and he was like, "Oh, so you think Nick is the best? You think Max is the best pass rush, the best defensive player?" I go, "He plays every single play, Nick." He goes, "Yeah, but I'm getting ready for the postseason. Like I don't need to play every single play." So it's a good comeback, and it's a fair argument on Nick's, like from Nick's standpoint. But nobody plays a game like Max Crosby right now. He plays every snap. Nobody can block him. The run game, nobody makes more tackles from the defensive end position than Max. But Nick is right there. Nick is right there right now. Matt Judon is right there. He's getting help from Josh Uche on the other side. They're a really good tandem. The Eagles, they lead the league in sacks right now. They play with these tremendous leads, so they don't have to blitz at all. Their front 4 is just everybody, whether it's Fletcher Cox or Brandon Graham, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat's underrated, very underrated. Like that's a good group, Yeah. I would say Max Crosby, Nick Bosa right now are the 2 guys.
I like the Max Crosby answer. I feel like he doesn't get enough love. The Dolphins. So what's the fix here? It feels like they have now, I don't want to say it's as simple as teams have figured it out, but it does feel like, the way like the Chargers defended them on Sunday night, where they're basically saying we're taking away the middle of the field. We're gonna make sure that all the receivers, our cornerbacks have inside leverage, and you're not going to be able to run these crossers that open everything up. What is the counter move that Mike McDaniel can do? Because it feels like their season might be slipping away here.
Where's your guys' film room that you're getting all these observations from? Like
we
this
know
is
a thing or two.
You're
We know
spot
ball
on.
too.
We know ball.
Because like Michael Davis, number 43 for the Chargers. Like I saw him D up Jalen Waddle last week, Trent Sherfield, Mike Gesicki. He D'd them all up. He's a 6'3" corner, and he doesn't have the greatest foot speed, but he's beating them up at the line of scrimmage. And Jalen Waddle, there's no doing the Waddle when you do that. San Francisco did something similar to him week before. And so now I feel like the counter move to your point is on Mike McDaniel. It's like for 12 weeks or 11 weeks, Waddle and Hill were just like destroying teams down the field. And Tua was number 1 rated quarterback in the league, and everything was like rosy. Well, all right, they're having problems right now, and they're having problems getting those guys loose and free, and the running game isn't great. And so it's up to Mike McDaniel. There's things you can do now. There's man beaters, there's bunch formations. There's things you can do to get those guys loose. And I feel like maybe that's what they got to do right now.
Is it fair to say like Tua has shown that he has some limitations to what he can do in terms of making throws to the outside of the field?
I think look, he made 2 bad throws against San Francisco and he got picked. All right. And, there's a couple where he sailed the ball. Look, he's challenged in the pocket, so, you saw, San Francisco was blitzing him right up the middle. You saw him last week, and he had trouble getting the ball when there's pressure right in his face. That's always going to be a problem for guys at that height. But I think mechanically he's really good. Like he's really sound. And so they got to get back to, plays right now where he can set his feet and throw. Like maybe it's the RPO game. Like they've got some things in the offense and in their arsenal that they can pick up. Like Buffalo, though, like, Tre'Davious White is back. I mean, They're playing a lot more man coverage than I've seen Buffalo play in the past. And it allows them to blitz, play man coverage behind it, and that might be a problem for the Dolphins this week.
So less about film and more about the feel for the game. You've been to, you played in the NFL. You've been to a million games. That game on Saturday night, Dolphins going up to Buffalo. When you're on the sideline talking to guys in a cold weather game, can you tell right away which team wants to be there and which team doesn't? Like, is that something that – because we put a lot of weight on that as a fan perspective, like Dolphins going up to the cold, they don't want to be there. Can you sense it when guys are not locked in or the cold is bothering them and it feels like they're off?
I actually can. Like, there's some team – like, there's a lot of teams, that love to be out on the field before the game. Like if you watch the Eagles, they're a big pregame warm-up team. Jordan Mailata, he's a Polynesian. He's out there barefoot. Doesn't matter what he's got 6 toes. Like he's a freak. He's out there just running around. And Lane Johnson, like they're a big pregame team. But there's teams that you're like, are they going to come out and warm up today? Like, okay, it's a little cold. Okay, it's raining like cats and dogs out here. Like they're not out there on the field. Like Patrick Mahomes is warming up every game regardless what it is. Like he's just having fun throwing the ball behind the back, throwing the route tree to Travis Kelce. Like, he's just having fun. Like, he comes out every game. But there are some teams, when the weather's bad or inclement, like, you can't find them. They're in the locker room. And I do think there's something to that.
Yeah,
Did
absolutely.
you just say that Jordan Mailata has 6 toes?
Yeah.
He's got –
Wait, you knew that?
I knew that, yeah.
They're webbed.
Yeah.
Like he's an amphibian that's just kind of making the way through evolution to the land right now. Yeah.
He's a freak.
That's incredible. I wish I had known that a long time ago. I definitely would have
Maybe
jumped
you
on
could
the
get
Eagles
Jordan on the show, and he could play his ukulele and show you his 6 toes.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, like we should probably talk about your hands at this point. The famous baldy finger that you got there. Yeah, look at that thing.
Oh man,
that's gnarly. That's at least a 90-degree angle you got going out there.
I was at a Cowboys reunion last Tuesday night. I was with Roger Staubach, and Roger's got the same finger, so we were comparing fingers, me and Roger, last week. So it was like, and I've known me and Roger used to play basketball all the time. He tried to get his fixed, and next week they're like, you can't do anything for 6 weeks now, Roger. Like just let it set. And next week he's playing basketball. The ball hits it, the splint flies off, and the finger goes right back to where it was.
Yeah, Torrey Holt's got a pretty gnarly one too. Have you compared with him?
He's got a bunch of them. His fingers cross in the middle, like his are like that.
Does it hurt at all, or is it just? It is what it is.
It doesn't hurt, but like if I have to get change out of my pocket, the change is like falling right through the fingers. Like those kind of things.
I mean, honestly, I think it gives a little air of expertise to your opinions, though. Like, if I see a guy talking about offensive line play, especially, and he's got a pinky that goes out to the side, I'm going to be like, this dude knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's my signature. Like, it does make it a little more authentic. Like,
It
you've been
is.
out there, just grabbing somebody and holding on for dear life, to win a little battle one day.
Yeah,
it's
facts.
Were you a guy that, when it came to the cold weather, would you put any stock into, like, the team that doesn't wear sleeves has a mental edge?
I remember playing a game one time. I mean, a couple of games, but I remember one game in Philadelphia against Buffalo. I was playing with the Eagles. It was 25 below. And in the vet back then, 25 below felt like 40 below because the wind was blowing. It was just, and I remember, like, there's no way I would ever put sleeves on in any situation. Like, it was just a mental thing. Like, I'm a meathead. I grab people for a living. I run into people for a living. Like, I'm not putting sleeves on. Like, there's no way anybody's going to think that I'm cold.
And you wouldn't put the Vaseline on your arms, would you?
No, but I put Vaseline on my jersey, which was illegal, so that when they grabbed it, their hands just slipped off it. Like, I would do
Right.
that for sure.
I mean, that's just gamesmanship. So we made the comment last week. We put our life on the line for this. So we said that the Super Bowl winner is going to come out of 6 teams: the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Niners, or the Eagles. Is there a 7th team that you could see through your tape and watching everything where you're like, watch out for this team because we got to be ready to possibly end our lives if that doesn't happen?
I don't think there's a team like if the way the Ravens ran the ball last week with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, they ran it. Now Tyler Huntley was quarterback, Lamar wasn't in there, but they ran it just from pure runners. They ran it better than they have in 2 years. And you go, okay, if they can run the ball like that, and then you add Lamar to the mix, and you get Ronnie Stanley back at left tackle, and you get Big Country at right guard, like the way they move the line of scrimmage, you could say they could compete. Now, they play Cleveland this week. We'll see what happens. But, like, if they run the ball like that, they could be a problem.
Yeah.
They might be a team. And I caution myself from saying this because I don't want to fall into this silly trap. But Detroit is dangerous. They're just dangerous. They just are. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. He knows what it's like. Like, he's playing the best football of his life. This Jameson Williams is a comet. Like, he's just a speeding comet. Like, if you add him, like, their defense got a lot of good young players. They're not really any championship level defense, but I feel like they could outscore teams because their offensive line is really good. Goff is playing great. They got a great offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. Like, could they come from the outside, like in a horse race from way back? You kind of like want to see them against the Jets in New York this week. And if they take care of business, you go, yeah, that team could be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that we're having that conversation about the Detroit Lions.
I know.
But it's legit. Their offense is that good, I think.
But if you look at, like, I'm not comparing, like, to Cincinnati and because Joe Burrow's an assassin and Jamar Chase, but, they were 10-7 last year. They went on the road to Tennessee. They went on to Kansas City. And there they were within one drive of winning a Super Bowl. Like, nobody thought, especially preseason or even halfway through the season, that Cincinnati was a Super Bowl team. And they finished 10-7, and there they were, Super Bowl 56 at SoFi, like, within one drive of winning it all.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. There always are one of those teams that just gets hot right around now and plays their best football down the stretch. Is there a team that's fading in your eyes that's like they something's off, they got to get it together, but it feels like it's slipping through the cracks?
Well, I mean, you could say that about Miami. Like they're fading fast. And so the things that were magical, like I was there week 2 when they scored, those 3 touchdowns against Baltimore in the fourth quarter, long bombs. And, maybe that's who the Ravens are. Maybe they can't, hold a lead. And, that's been an issue for them. But, you saw the firepower and you go, okay. And then you saw it for now the last 2 weeks, you go, they look like they're leaking oil real bad right now. Now, can they get it back? I don't know. But, like, the thing that's disappointing to me about that team is, they traded, they made a trade for Bradley Chubb. And if you combine him and Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins, they got all these number 1 picks on the defensive line, yet they don't look like they're unstoppable defensively.
Yeah.
I've found myself starting to fall into the Cowboys trap this year, which happens almost every year. There's a lot of hype around the Cowboys. Naturally, Jerry Jones, he's always going on the radio saying something inflammatory. They've got a lot of talent. They've had a lot of talent for, it feels like, the last 10 years. They've had all the pieces there. But this year, I'm starting to think it could be possible. They look like a good team. But the last 2 weeks, they struggled against the Texans. And then I think it was the Colts before that, right?
Well, Packers.
The Packers, yeah. So they've had some a couple like stumbling blocks. They've managed to get over for the most part. But is this the year that you think the Cowboys could put it all together?
Well, they lost their right tackle last week, and right tackles are right tackles. Terrence Steele is a really solid player, though. They put Josh Ball in there, like he gave up 2 quarterback hits to Dak, and they pulled him out of there, and they put Jason Peter in there at age 41. Like Jason. I mean, he can finish a game for you. You can't expect Jason Peters to go and right through the postseason playing right tackle. Like, he's never really played right tackle, but he looked good in there in the one drive. But they needed a 98-yard drive to beat the Texans. And I just feel like, Micah Parsons, and I love Micah. We all do. But, like, he's talking about Jalen Hurts and MVP, and I'm like, Micah, like, go to Jacksonville and take care of business against Trevor Lawrence this week. Because last week, Laramie Tunsil shut him out. Like, he didn't get off the line of scrimmage against Laramie. Now, Laramie's a really good player, but, like, go beat a good player. Like, do your job, And so they need Micah to be Micah, to be special, I think. The offense can be good. You saw them against the Colts. It's 21-19. All of a sudden, they finished with 56 points. Like, they, just exploded. And they show signs that they can be that explosive team at times. But, their performance in the postseason was dreadful last year. Let's face it. Like, San Francisco whipped them. They had way too many penalties, and they fell into that trap that you talk about. Like, are they? And they had home field, and you saw the long faces on all the fans. Like, they were just literally melting, watching their team just get whipped.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Like, they play the Eagles obviously on Christmas Eve. It'll probably be the most watched game all year. It's a perfect primetime game, Christmas Eve. Like, I feel like that's the season right there for them.
Yeah, It's going to be a huge, huge game. Speaking of the Eagles, there's been a lot of people who've been like, they don't play anyone. Their schedule has been soft. But from your watching the film, I'm a big believer, like, hey, if your schedule is soft but you're beating the brakes off teams, like, then you're doing your job. So what are you going to say?
Well, we just watched them in 3 straight weeks in a row against the Packers, against the Tennessee Titans, and last week against the Giants. And the games weren't even close. Like, they were blowouts. Like, I don't care who you are in this league. Nobody just blows teams out every week. It's just nobody does that. And they're doing that. Like, they ran the ball for 363 yards against the Packers. The Packers are terrible, but they did it. They threw for 380 yards against Tennessee. All right. And then last week, they did whatever they wanted to do against the Giants. So you could say, okay, they're the bottom feeders right now in this business, but yet they're doing it. They're jumping on these teams early. It was 21-0 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter last week. Like, that's hard to do in this league. And so Jalen Hurts is the MVP. He's the runaway MVP for me. Like, you can't get the guy to make a mistake. And the guy's decision-making has been flawless. Now, it might change against the 49ers or Christmas Eve against the Cowboys. Maybe teams can do that. But, man, they're so solid everywhere.
Yeah.
The secondary is as good as anybody in football, and the pass rush is lethal, and the offense line is the best, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're good. They're really good.
I'm a believer that that offensive line play travels in the playoffs. Like, you can take that on the road. I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it makes me sound like I know ball when I say it. But in your opinion,
it's a good take.
Is that fair? Okay, so offensive line play does travel in the playoffs in the weather. So in your opinion, what team has the best unit right now that's playing the best as an offensive line?
I think the Eagles are. I think the Eagles are playing great. You can't find a weakness. Jason Kelce is an amazing person. Like, I don't know how he does it. I know he has a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. I know he has a hard time walking from his bed to the bathroom in the morning. Like, I know that. But yet game day, I don't know, the adrenaline kicks in. He loves the game, whatever. I saw him put Dexter Lawrence on his back last week. He's only outweighed by 70 pounds, in that matchup, and he put him on his back.
Yeah.
Like, the guy could still run like the wind. Lane Johnson is unbeatable. I mean, they're just, like, you want Landon Dickerson on your team. He's just nasty. He's country. Like, he just loves it. His body's all beat up. Fingers are broken, elbows are crooked. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he goes out there and battles. Like, they're a really good group.
All right, so got a couple more questions, Baldy. This has been awesome. Like I said, you're now a recurring guest, so we have to have you on more often. I don't know why it took us so long. Of your years watching film, and it's been a lot of years, can you give me the one guy, maybe two guys, maybe offense, defense, that are just complete freaks that jumped off the film every time you watched them? Like, just absolute, wow, this guy moves different than everyone else. He's just a different cat altogether.
Well, when Quentin Nelson first came into the league, like, I fell in love. I mean, I did a breakdown of Quentin Nelson every single week. Like, that guy, like, he was literally gatoring people. Like, he was putting them down the ground and sitting on top of them like he was, like, just, a hungry lion in the Serengeti, just eating his prey. Like, he was like, and then the injury started taking its toll. And he's not the same guy right now. But there was a 3-year run where he was the most dominant offensive player in his business. There's days now when I watch Trent Williams play, and there's just nobody else that can do what he does. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like the way he'll just take somebody by the scruff of the neck and just make him eat grass seed, just put him face down on the turf. Like, he's a lot of fun to watch. I'm just thinking, like, Von Miller in his prime, like, was a freak. And then just what Patrick Mahomes has done in this league, we've never seen anything like it. Like, just the throw last week, to Jet McKinnon. Like, he could have put a dish rag in his hand. He would have completed the dish rag, to Jet McKinnon. Like, he's just, you have to watch him. And I know there's a little bit of fatigue about Patrick Mahomes and the arm angles and the delivery and the no-look passes, but the guy just sees the field like nobody else. And we've never really seen a player just dominate this business. You could say, you take any quarterback, Peyton or Aaron Rodgers or Brady, nobody's dominated the league the way Patrick Mahomes has for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, he's a joy to watch. Can you tell when a quarterback, when it clicks in their brain and the game starts moving slow for them? Because that's my favorite thing, is when a quarterback reaches that level where you're watching them and you're like, oh, everything's moving super slow for them. Like, they see everything better than anyone's seeing the field right now.
Well, Joe Burrow is there.
Yeah.
Like, he like, I call him an assassin. He's an assassin. Like, he just wants nothing more than to just rip your jugular right out of your throat. Like, that's how he thinks. That's how he plays. And it doesn't matter what you do to him. The guy is as mentally tough as anybody. We saw it in the playoffs against Tennessee when they sacked him 9 times. They hit him 14 times. It didn't matter. Like, he was coming out of the corner and he was going to keep, just keep throwing darts. Like, he's that guy. But yes, you can see when these guys like Jalen Hurts, I feel like Jalen's there now. He's got to do it in the postseason. Like, that's just the standard. They said Peyton Manning couldn't do it till he did it. They traveled from Tennessee, but you got to do it in the postseason. So I don't want to put Jalen there yet, the way Mahomes has done it, or Brady or Rodgers. You got to do it in the postseason. So that's left for Jalen to do right now. But like, he has that mentality as well. Like, like you can't get him fatigued. You can't rough him up. You can't intimidate him. You can't do any of that stuff to him.
Yeah, when it comes to Mahomes, he just makes it look so easy. When you're watching him play, it almost feels like I'm playing Madden, and it's on rookie mode, and I can do whatever I want with a quarterback and spin around 5 times
and
in the
have fun
backfield.
doing it. Like,
exactly.
Like, as a fan, we want the players to enjoy. We want to see those guys having fun, celebrating. And, like, nobody's having more fun warming up, playing the game, practicing, talking about the game. He's just so authentic. I feel like you could put anything in his hands. Like you see a basketball, like anything in his hands, like he'd be adroit at doing it.
Yeah.
Paper airplane. I think he could throw for 400 yards with the paper airplane.
That's true.
How much film would you say that you've watched, or how much football have you watched in your entire life? How many days worth?
Well,
of football?
like Monday, or starting on Sunday nights, Monday and Tuesday, I'm putting in anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day, watching it to get through all the games. And then do all the breakdowns for all the platforms that I do. And then there's certain players that are basically demanding me to watch their games and then give them the feedback. I don't have to mention their names, but like, you know, I enjoy doing it, but it's time consuming to do it. So I don't mind it. I learn more. Like I just broke down the 49ers in a way that I haven't really broken them down. And now I really understand the separation of powers between Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. Like, unlike anybody else that would study that team. Like, whoever, like the 49ers play Seattle tonight, this Thursday. So I'd take what I've watched this week about the 49ers defense up against Pete Carroll and his stuff.
Yeah.
So would you say like maybe 60 hours a week of football?
Yeah, 60 hours for sure.
And
love it.
you've been doing that for how many years now?
Well, we started doing, like me and Sterling started doing playbook for the NFL Network back in like 2007. So the last 15 years.
That's crazy.
Okay, so I'm going to do the math real quick.
You're the ultimate football guy.
So I'm counting just since 2007. You've watched about 50,000 hours worth of football.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Was it Stevie Jobs that said it's 10,000 hours?
Yeah.
To master a craft?
Yeah.
You know, like I put my 10,000 hours in for sure.
Yeah, you've mastered it 5 times.
You've clocked in since 2007. You've watched 5.3 years of football.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, but like my girlfriend gets mad at me because I can't remember some of the conversations we have. But I can tell you who the backup left guard is, you know, for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
You know, like I can fit that stuff.
The
And I
important
tell
stuff.
her, like, my brain is just so full of football, like I can't squeeze a lot more stuff in there. That's all.
Yeah, you're thinking about Fred Warner's tight end responsibilities. Like I get it.
There's so much football inside that brain.
I can tell that you think football is beautiful, which is I think that's beautiful that you think that football is beautiful.
I also do, yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball for the 49ers, we always talk about how the run game that they have, that Kyle Shanahan's put together, that to me is beautiful football. Watching that run game when everything's clicking. Can you explain to us maybe why we love it so much? Why do I think that it's beautiful the way that they do it?
Well, I remember when Luke Kuechly was, you know, as premier middle linebackers was in football, and Carolina went to play San Francisco. Ron Rivera's the head coach. This is like 4 years ago, maybe 5. And literally, they ran for like 250 yards against Carolina. And I did this breakdown where literally there was like 4 or 5 plays where Luke Kuechly wasn't even blocked. But the motions, the pre-snap movement, like took his eyes off the ball. And, you know, there goes, you know, whoever, Raheem Mostert, whoever it was, right by him. And to the point where Ron Rivera's wife was saying to Ron, you got to watch Baldy's breakdowns. The next thing I know, I get this text from Ron going, Baldy, can you make the trip down to Washington and show us what you saw? Because Luke was a computer. Like, he couldn't figure it out. And so some days it's just like that. It's just like, how do they think of this? And it's, you know, it's very integral. It's hard to explain. You have to kind of show it, slow it down, and freeze it, and like run it back and forth to see what that motion, movement, the quarterback's move or handoff, what it did to the defense. And so it's a little bit like this. Mike McDaniel has this in his brain. It's like, think about this. Like offense, think about offense as a pattern. You run this pattern, The defense is trained to like react to the pattern. And then you go against the pattern. And that's play action, that's counter, like all those things that bothers defenses. Like they've studied this play, this movement, this formation. Because as a linebacker, you go, okay, you know the formation, you know the play, So you get this pattern, break the pattern. And that's how like these next level thinkers are looking at the games.
Yeah, it's a great answer. All right, so Baldy, this has been awesome. I have one last question. It is a Roback question. Use promo code TAKE. You get 20% off Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, everything. Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Non-football question to end. You're a huge diner guy.
Yeah.
You love diners.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look for in a diner? What makes a diner an elite diner when you walk in for the first time?
Well, I live in Jersey. So if you live in Jersey, you go to Jersey diners. They're like literally on every street corner. First of all, they're open 24 hours. So back in the partying days, when you get out of the club at 2 or 3, whatever, you need a diner. You know, you need some grease, right? So that's it, 24. A counter service, you know, you walk in, you know, you got your newspaper or whatever. All right, you sit down, you got your notes. All right, you're at the counter. That helps. You can get eggs any time of the day. All right, any way that you want it, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And the menu is just you want lamb chops, there's lamb chops. You know, you want like pickles, you got pickles. Like whatever it is that you can think of. Because, you know, let's face it, sometimes we're like, I don't know what I want. You know, like, what do I want? But you want something. And you look at that menu, you know, and it's like looking at Kyle Shanahan's playbook, you know? Like you got everything on the menu. So whatever your body needs, it's that you need barbecue ribs. Like barbecue ribs.
Diner. Yeah.
I respect that because I've long questioned why do we only eat eggs at breakfast? Who came up with that rule?
Yeah.
Why is that a rule? It makes no sense to me. Eggs, that's an
I
anytime
just
meal.
made egg salad just now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to eat egg salad right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, pancakes, why not? Have them at dinner.
French toast.
Everything.
I used to make French toast when I was 10 years old. Like
Yeah.
I learned how to make it out of the Charlie Brown cookbook. So like if you get hungry at night, why not French toast? You know,
Yeah.
cake with butter and syrup. Like you can't go wrong.
Why
Yeah.
not soup for breakfast?
That's facts.
They've got everything you need.
Goulash.
There. Doesn't matter.
Like
Yeah.
you go to Prague, a Czech breakfast is goulash and a beer. Like you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Baldy, this has been awesome, man. We really, really appreciate it. We'd love to have you back on. You're a recurring guest. It took us way too long, but you are a true football guy. Good luck this weekend. You can hear him on. You're doing the radio call for Titans.
Do the national radio call for
Chargers.
Titans Chargers on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So we're excited, and check him out on Twitter at Baldy NFL for all his breakdowns. If you're a football fan, you're not following him, and you're not you don't know who Baldy is, then you're not a football fan.
Yeah, we got to get you in the studio too.
Yes.
We'd love to have you.
Or
in the
go to a
office
diner.
sometime.
Where
Yeah.
are
go
you
to a
guys?
diner.
Where's the location?
We're in New York right now, but we'll go to a diner.
Oh, that'd be a
come
great
down.
setup at the diner.
Yeah.
Nothing like food and football. Like,
Yeah.
just go together.
All
Now
right,
you're
that's
talking
done.
my language.
We maybe do a Super Bowl preview. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks so much, Baldy.
Pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Okay, let's wrap up Fyre Fest of the week. Fyre Fest of the week. Also, Pardon My Cheesesteak. Go check it out all weekend long. I've been on a cheesesteak kick. I've been ordering Pardon My Cheesesteak, Chipotle, classic, buffalo chicken. Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com. Learn more now on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, or Grubhub. I love cheesesteaks.
We'll have a truck out there for the Arizona Bowl.
Hell yes.
I might get in there.
Hell yes. Hell yes, you will.
You'll be whipping them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Hank, what's your Fyre Fest?
So last week, obviously,
Hungry Dog never hits?
nope. I told the tragic
Lottery ball
tale
never
of
hits?
my coat. A lot of people reached out, showed their support. I appreciate it. On top of that, I went out in Providence on Friday and left a different coat in the bar. So I'm already on
you got a
QB2.
problem?
QB2 got hurt. Now I'm really like I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
You got a coat problem.
I got a coat problem, and I got some good suggestions. Again, people have really been helpful in helping me get a new coat, but it's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get the trench coat?
Probably not now.
I mean, Hank, that'd be
come
such
on.
a good look.
You
We'll
should
get
a
you a
Canada
trench coat.
goose.
Yeah.
No,
Ooh.
get the
I
trench
care
coat.
about the animals and shit. Billy.
Hank and the goose.
No,
might be
fuck
hilarious.
Canadian geese. They're the worst animals ever.
Yeah, they suck.
Literally. Like, if there's one animal I could just wipe off the face of the earth, it's Canadian geese.
If you got a problem with Canada geese, you got a problem with me. I suggest you let that one marinate.
The Migratory Bird Act is
Out.
pretty mid.
Yeah. They fucking suck.
You should be able to shoot birds on the ground.
Geese will definitely like straight up swarm you and
Oh.
bite you. They got teeth in like the back of their beaks.
In my neighborhood last spring, there was a family. So the goose had a bunch of babies, and they just had like a spot on a like main walkway that people just couldn't walk on because you'd go near them and they just hiss and go crazy.
Geese love having nests on golf courses more than anything in the world. They love just popping out eggs on the 13th tee.
You know what's worse than geese? Swans.
Yeah, swans are
Swans
they're dickheads.
are so territorial.
Yes.
And they'll break your arm. Like a swan will actually like hit you and light you up pretty good.
Yeah. They
And
go
the-
right for the arm.
Now they don't have the queen to protect them anymore. So it's open season.
That's true.
All right, yeah, tough week, but I appreciate the support system.
You need to get a coat.
Get a trench coat and a briefcase.
Get a trench coat.
I'm wearing a starter jacket today. Like, can't be rolling up at corporate meetings like that.
I mean, I've seen you wear way worse.
Wait, are you can't be rolling up to corporate meetings wearing a trench coat? I
No,
think
starter
you should.
jacket.
Just get a trench coat, man.
I've seen how you dress in corporate meetings. I don't think anyone's like, oh, man.
Coming from you.
Well, yeah, I'm not corporate. So why would I dress nice for a corporate meeting?
Hank, you need to get the respect of the C-suite.
Yeah.
Rock a Montclair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And a monocle.
The sweatpants, do you think that was
Top hat.
the starter jacket's the problem?
Oh yeah, we're going to the Avatar.
All right, PFT.
I want to be comfortable.
Your Fyre Fest.
My Fyre Fest of the week is my entire debit card got leaked online on Saturday morning. So,
You leaked it.
I did not. I did not leak it. We put out the secondary video of myself and Donnie in Qatar, and got a lot of great feedback on that. So go check it out on Donnie's YouTube page. Part of that second video that we put out involved us going to McDonald's on Thanksgiving in Qatar and then buying fries with peri-peri seasoning, which is a very spicy seasoning, which I then proceeded to chop up into a line using my debit card and snort, as is custom on Qatari.
Not a drug guy.
No, it's not. It's not a drug. It's peri-peri seasoning, and it's a Qatari. It's a Thanksgiving custom over there. I didn't want to be rude, so whacked a massive line of peri-peri seasoning, and my debit card was on camera in full display. Every number from the debit card, the date of expiration, and the 3-digit security number. So several people sent that to me right when the video came out within a couple minutes. I locked down my card, and then I started to get all these text message notifications from Bank of America saying, this person just tried to buy $100 worth of jewelry at K Jeweler using your debit card. So fuck you to the broke boy that did that. If you're going to use my debit card, it's actually insulting to me that you would only try to spend $100 on it. Like, go big on that.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with getting that locked down, which anytime I lose my debit card, which I tend to do once every, year or two, I get a bunch of people that shame me for having a debit card. They're like, yo, you should have a credit card, get points. I like to spend my own money. I rock a debit card. But the nice part about it is, it's like, you know how a forest fire culls the forest and it's like good for nature?
Yeah.
Every time I lose my debit card, I get all these bounce back notifications for subscriptions I don't use anymore.
That you don't use,
So it's a great way to weed out the stuff.
That's smart.
I'm actually saving money by having my debit card leak out online.
You're good for one of those, like accidentally doxing some private information like once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Happens.
I think I can check off all the boxes between Billy putting my phone number, my penis, and my debit card online. I think I've had it all.
Max
and
told me.
Your balls.
And my balls. Yeah, that's right. And my butthole.
Max told me Max and I were together in Philly. He told me when it happened. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, it's about time.
Yeah, I was chopping up a fat line of peri-peri seasoning. And then credit to Billy, because later on in the day, the video came out at like 9, and then I get a text from Billy at 8:30 at night probably, being like, yo, dude, your debit card's online. You might want to get that taken care of, because somebody came up to him at SantaCon and let him know that my debit card was online and just assumed that Billy had something to do with it. But it's fine. It's whatever. Didn't lose any money, fortunately. And listen, that's just the cost of doing business when you're chopping up lines in Qatar.
It is. All right, my Fyre Fest. I talked about it on Wednesday, but I have a new wrinkle. So for any parents out there, my son is now at the age where he's just decided when to get up, and I think we're like 4 days in a row that he's just been. First 3 days he was just staring at my face, like 6 inches from my face, waking me up from a dead sleep. So I had to talk with him. It's tough to get through to a 3.5-year-old. I was like, don't do that. Stay in your bed until I come get you. Like, don't come into my room and say, like, Dad, let's get up. So this morning he respected my wishes by, instead of saying, Dad, let's get up, he just stood outside my door at 5:30 in the morning and just lightly knocked. So like I woke up with just that, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I opened the door, he's just standing there. He's like, you told me not to say anything. So I've been up at like 5 in the morning every single morning this
That's
week.
way better than the standing.
It's learning, yeah.
The standing next to you. That's like a paranormal activity.
It's so scary, dude. I seriously was dead asleep, and he was just 6 inches from my face. He's like, Dad, can we get up? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Totally uninformed.
Cage? You're going to say a cage.
No.
Oh. I'm not putting my son in a cage.
What about just like a leash that's attached to a cable in the living room?
Maybe an e-collar? No. What if you told him he has to do like 100 push-ups before he can wake you up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Like, what's a push-up? Yeah.
Then
Good
he
idea,
gets
Billy.
jacked.
Yeah.
Can they not do push-ups yet?
3.5? No.
3 years
It's
old.
3.5. No.
That sounds like an excuse, honestly. I'm with Billy on this
If he
one.
can walk,
You can do a push-up.
Yeah, get him into CrossFit.
Yeah.
Start doing some burpees, yeah.
No, I mean, listen. We've been doing an M&M system that if he doesn't wake me up, he gets to take some 5 blue M&Ms to school every morning. Today it was tough. I had to break it to him. I was like, dude, you don't get the M&Ms. Like, you woke me up again. He's just like, maybe tomorrow. I was like, yeah, sure, but no chance you're gonna actually stay in your fucking bed.
Are the blue ones his favorite?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Smart kid.
Well, it's also great because I just buy a pack of M&Ms and I take out all the blue ones and eat the rest.
Yeah, the blue ones.
Yeah.
Kind of, but the blue ones are definitely the best.
No, I know, but I'm happy to buy you M&Ms so that you can have the 10 blue ones in a bag and I'll have the rest of them.
Ever since they nerfed the green one, I'm blue all the way.
Green ones made you horny.
No, they nerfed it.
Yeah, I know they nerfed it.
Yeah.
I know they used to make you horny.
Yeah.
Okay, Billy.
First Fyre Fest, just got this amazing, pardon my cheesesteak, not tracksuit, but racing suit, and I'm too thick for it.
Oh.
So I got to air out the seat. Hopefully I'll fit into it. It's really sick. I'm definitely going to start rocking it way more.
So your Fyre Fest is you're too muscular.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing too many squats.
Yep.
That's
And then my other Fyre Fest is my longtime neighbor, Ben Mintz, has moved out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now someone else is going to move in. I don't know this person, and I'm going to have to share very close proximity with them and a backyard. So hopefully
That's a bummer.
Dude, actually, did he find someone?
he found someone's moving in there. No one really knows if I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But the thing is, Mincy, when he was leaving, you could just hear him scream through the walls at 5 a.m. when he was catching his flight. New York era over.
Oh,
New York era. There's New Orleans now. Like, this is not a joke. This guy's making ad libs for himself as he's leaving the apartment.
So Mincy and my son both waking people up at 5 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And hopefully this new person's chill with dogs and
they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And a squat rack.
and hedgehog.
and banging, the banging.
Yeah, a lot of banging.
Of the squat
Yeah,
rack.
no, that's why I
Tons
tell
of
my
banging.
whenever I get a new
punching
neighbor,
bag
I'm
in
like,
the backyard.
I hope they're
Yeah,
cool with
the
a lot
pun-
of banging.
Yeah.
The punching bag does make a lot of noise. Hopefully they don't complain and they I don't know.
I hope it's the most low T incel dude who's just this is gross.
Yeah. I hope they just stick to themselves.
Yeah.
And don't go outside in the yard. That whole,
You gotta
shared yard.
You gotta claim the yard.
Yeah.
the yard's all mine.
You gotta do some stuff before they move in to let them know that that's your yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might even tell them, no, that's not in your lease.
Yeah.
This is in my lease.
Do that.
Just you know what you should do? Just start peeing outside.
My dog
mark
does.
your territory.
My dog just uses the whole backyard. If it starts getting he can only go on one side of the backyard, I'm like, no.
Not your yard.
You tell them that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not your yard.
Sweet.
Okay, Jake, wrap us up.
Yeah, I guess it's like a group Fyre Fest, but Mother Nature flipped the switch this week. It is officially really, really cold in New York
Yeah,
City.
it got cold.
It's really bad.
You know what happened to me the other day? I had that moment where
This is why you
I
shouldn't
walked
bet on the
around a corner
Dolphins.
and
Yeah.
the wind hit me between the buildings.
Yeah.
And tears just started trickling down my
My
face.
hands start to dry up and bleed
This
like
is
if I'm not
another
wearing gloves.
Bills.
Yeah. I mean,
Take the Bills.
look, there's no getting used to it. I spent 6 straight winters in Syracuse and Burlington, Vermont, but you can't just
Yeah, no, it sucks
It
for a
sucks.
couple months. It's just it's gonna
just
suck.
power through
Yeah.
February. Once we hit March Madness, it
Yeah,
should be fine.
We did have a nice run though there, where it was is winter never showing
right.
up?
Yeah, we
But
did.
This week it just changed.
It's big time soup season right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huge. I was
chili every night.
Wait, did you announce chili season?
I didn't. I
officially?
forgot, but I've been eating it every night.
I was at the grocery store the other day. There was actually an AWL right next to me. He was like, "Yo, PFT, what's up?" I was at the soup station and I was getting 2 30-ounce things of soup for myself to bring home.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's not really a
Soup
bit.
season, baby.
This is how I roll.
So 3 months.
Colin
keep our
Coward
heads
could
down,
never
we'll
fucking
get through
fake
it.
brothhead,
Yeah.
you little bitch.
Keep your heads down. We got playoff football in January. Get us through it. Okay, numbers. Hank, have you ever gotten this?
Nope.
You've never,
Never.
never, ever, ever.
Never, ever, ever.
I feel like at some point you have had to have gotten it.
Hank, do you want 69 because it's due?
No thanks, Billy.
Okay, I'll take 69.
Oh, that was nice of you, Billy.
I'm going to take 58.
58.
I'm gonna do 17.
I gotta find. I told some guy I was gonna
Feels like a good time for
25.
pick
17.
his number.
Feels like 17
It was
is
25. I almost
20.
took it, but
17's
Oh, really?
covered.
yeah.
25. Okay.
We got breaking news.
Shout out Kevin Weintraub.
No, you don't need to really do
Well, I
it that
just
much.
fucking
It's
did
like
it. What the fuck?
Drew Brees has been hired as an interim assistant coach at Purdue. The school announced. Congrats, Drew. Hope you don't get struck by lightning.
Wow.
You little
Okay.
bitch.
So
Nice.
Sebastian's gone MIA again, so we're gonna keep his 45
Okay.
pick.
25
I'm
is
going
my
18.
number. What's your number, Hank?
50-fucking-8.
And you've never gotten it.
No.
Okay.
By the way, it's 2 weeks from today, the finale. The
Yeah.
Final show of 2022.
PFT, what was yours?
I did 17, Big Cat.
17, Max?
I did 20.
18. For me, 45, Sebastian.
Oh, this is going to be so awesome when you get the number. But you're not going to get it today because you've never gotten 8. 8. You are so bad at this.
I got one number.
Dude,
PFT,
you're
isn't
so
that
bad
number
at
you
this.
won on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my lucky number.
You're so bad at this.
Speaking of 8,
Just pick the right number once, dude.
octopuses have a brain in each of their 8 tentacles.
Wow, that's crazy. Love you guys.